Hola, Yuppie, everybody. Good evening. How's everyone doing? Let me just get everything prepared over here. Okay, the game's audio should be on by now, but... Right. Okay, we're all set up. So, oh wait, no, actually, I forgot to blend out the song bar. There we go. Now we're all ready. Okay, so happy first Umineko of the year, everybody. Hi, Blurneko. How you doing? Happy New Year. I hope you had a how's it called? How do you say it in English? Guten Rutsch. You say it in German. Hope you had a nice ride into New Year, as we say it in German. And yeah, it's been quite a while since we've read Umineko. I don't quite remember when the last pre-Christmas stream was. I think it was sometime in mid-December. But I've been, the whole Christmas through, I've been like, how am I going to hold not reading Umineko this entire time? But I managed. I'm holding the Beato plush with me because it looks like we're pretty far in. And I'm scared, one fear. I don't know where the rest of the story is gonna go. But it looks like we're gearing up towards the final showdown. Not sure if we're gonna finish reading it tonight. I don't think so, but maybe we'll get one step closer, right? Okay, so let's jump right back in. And before we do, just a very quick recap for those since it's been a while, and for those who may have potentially even missed the last one. So Anje completed her attack, basically, on the final game board and has retrieved Eva's diary. She has read it, and let's just say she didn't take reading what was in it well. And we saw basically the scene from episode 4 where she jumps from the skyscraper in a much different light, in a much more tragic and sad and painful light. Now we are sitting here and wondering, is she gonna survive, or is she now tomato paste on the floor? And that's where we left off. No, wait. The final thing we saw was a car approaching someone who was kinda woozy. So, is it Anje? Let's see. And also Beato and Battler are asking Lambda to help them stop Federine from leaking the diary to the public and opening the cat box. So shit hit the fan, and shit's about to hit the fan even more. So I saw a shadow, which was apparently the driver, open an umbrella and come towards me. Oh, that's Federine. The shadow questioned me. Of course I couldn't answer it. The shadow crouched down and looked into my face. It was a woman. Oh, yeah, it is! It is, Hachijo. No. My question is, I mean, given that this looks like a forest, I don't think it's Anje, but it could be. I clenched my chest. I felt I needed to answer somehow and communicate my intentions. So, finally, I managed to let a short groan escape my lips. What a way to put it! So you aren't roadkill yet. And that was how I met Ikuko. Ikuko? Oh, that's her first name. I think they stated it, but I forgot. So forgive me for that. Oh, such a nice house.
通訳しております。
This is Hachijo's house, exactly. Okay, it's been a while since I've seen it, so.
あと、記憶障害の可能性が高いですな。
Memory loss.
CT を見ないことには分かりませんが、脳にダメージがある可能性もあります。
ダメージ程度で済んで大いに結構でした。
Damage?
あそこであのまま寝ていればそれどころでは済まなかったでしょうから。
Then it would have been a splat, yeah.
です。いずれにせよ、大きな病院で一度見せた方がいいでしょ
う。ありがとう先生。この件は内密に。これはわずかですが、往診のお車代に。
わざわざ他言はしませんが。いやいや、こんなにたくさんいただくわけには。
I feel like this voice is a bit familiar, but maybe it's just the same voice actor. In the end, the doctor took the money and swore to keep quiet about the matter. Eventually, Hachijo returned.
おや、起きていたのですか。具合はいかがです？
I nodded weakly, letting her know that it wasn't so bad for now. But where is this place? A room I have absolutely no memory of, in a house I don't remember at all. At first and foremost, here's a woman I've never seen.
まずは私の自己紹介から。私は八条育子。親しげに育子と呼んでくれても、他人行儀に八条さんと呼んでくれても構いません。
The fact that she gives the options is cute. Hachijo Ikuko.
八条家はこの辺りではちょっと知られた大地主の名家。出来のいい兄たちと違い、私はどこかずれた変わり者。いろいろと悪さが過ぎまして、とうとう親たちからも愛想をつかされて追い出され、今はここで蟄居をさせられています。
Oh wow. I just like to imagine she slayed so hard that her parents were like, no, we can't accept this.
を読むことと、そして書くこと。年は秘密の独身女。心は女子でも、そろそろそれを語るにはおこがましいかなという年頃です。
Mid-30s, maybe? With the haze my mind was in, it was extremely hard to make out what she was talking about. Okay, maybe she's mid-20s, but now that I think about it. However, I was able to pick up on the fact that she was trying to cheer me up.
それで、そなたの名前は?
My name? Logically, I know that. Being a human, I must have a name. And I do have the feeling that I did indeed have a name. However, no matter how hard I tried to remember what it was, it just made my heart hurt. Sorry, my head hurt.
何か名前以外に覚えていることは?
My heart hurt is very much how it feels like reading Umineko all the time. Can you remember anything? Who am I? My head? No, even my heart was a mess of torn flesh. And I couldn't remember a thing, not even who or what I was. But I must remember. I had some kind of purpose. Or maybe a mission. In order to remember that, I first have to remember who I am. Who am I? What is my name? Where was I born and what was my birthday? I need to remember something. Anything. Age.
年? 私の年は秘密です。
18.
私が18歳に見える?
Her face, look at her, she's so cute. I'm 18.
そなたの年齢ですか?
I do appreciate that they intentionally left out the voice of the POV character so that we don't know who it is. I really like that.
やれやれ、世辞が過ぎると思いました。
When I asked myself how old I was, the number 18 floated into my mind. To be honest, the number 18 felt a bit out of place. I'm just 18 when she jumps, isn't she? My mind felt much younger than that, and my pathetic body felt much older. Okay.
なるほど。 そなたは18歳というわけだ。そしてそれ以上のことは何も覚えていないと。
I nodded weakly. I never knew that knowing nothing about yourself could make you feel this powerless.
では、そなたが自分の名を思い出すまで18と書いて東野と読む名前を与えましょう。
Ah,
八条東野。
Hachijo Toya.
いかがです？
That's a cute name. I like it.
なかなかかっこいいです。自画自賛。
She does sound much more juvenile in this, so I wonder if this is like kinda same time as when the Anja stuff is happening, or if this is in another time, like a few years before. Hachijo Ikuko gave a satisfied laugh. From then on, I took the name Hachijo Toya. My ability to move my body was apparently due to a traffic accident. Oh, okay. On that day, I had been hit by a car, and Ikuko had picked me up from where I lay on the street. Jesus, that's rough. If she hadn't hit the brakes, she probably would have driven straight onwards, thinking she'd run over a dead dog or something. Wow. Later on, perhaps rudely, I suspected that the one who hit me might have been Ikuko herself. But I saw her completely undamaged front bumper. I gave up on that theory. I mean, does your front bumper need to be dented or so to show that you've been hit by a car? Hachijo Ikuko lived in a small but lovely mansion on the top of a small hill in a village with view of the sea. She also owned the hill behind her and was more than capable of enjoying the 4 seasons in privacy. That's ideal. God, I wish I were her. As time passed slowly, my rehabilitation continued and my ability to move improved little by little. However, it seemed I really did suffer some form of brain damage. Finding out who I was looked like it would be a very difficult task. In the beginning, when I couldn't bear not knowing my identity, my head often hurt so much it felt as though it would explode. However, as I slowly accepted the fact that I was a new person with the new name of Hachijo Toya, the headaches became less frequent. That whole time, no memories returned to me except the fact that I had been 18. However, I was unable to remember any more, unable even to be sure that 18 was my true age. And eventually, I stopped trying to remember my former self.
Ohayo, Toya.
Oh, hold on. There was like a portion when we were with Hachijo where the maid mentioned that that person woke up. That's probably Toya, huh?
昨日はひどい嵐でしたが、よく眠れましたか？
I had some trouble falling asleep, so I decided to read your manuscript.
おやおや、どこまで読んでくれたのですか？
I finished it.
これは驚いた。あの量の原稿用紙を一晩で読み切ったというのですか？
He's like, Umineko is good. I was surprised too. Once I got into it, I'd finished before I knew it. It was like I was just skimming it, or maybe like I was taking in each page with just a glance.
どうやらそなたは速読の心得があるようですね。して、どうでしたか？感想は。
I liked it a lot. Still, if you don't explain that part about the ocean currents a bit more clearly, it might be a little unfair for a detective novel. Oh, but I thought it was great that you had the foreshadowing with the ring right there at the beginning. After I finished, I had to go back to the beginning and slap myself for being so easily tricked. I think giving people that feeling is what detective novels do best. Did I say something to offend you? If I did, you have my apologies.
いや、なぜ謝るのです。驚いています。そなたの的確な感想は称賛に値するでしょう。そなたはどうやら批評家か、あるいは推理小説作家の才能があるらしい。
I'm starting to have a gut feeling here and I'm scared. A detective novel writer. A critic. From across the fog of oblivion, I seem to remember myself fighting and arguing about mysteries or something like that. Shit. Shit. Stop. That way of fighting, which I must have learned in the past, sent a surge of excitement through me. Mystery. What? Fighting. My head hurt. I took a painkiller and swallowed it with fresh water brought up from the well. Who am I, really? But no matter how much I thought, I couldn't remember. From what I've been told, the frequency of the headaches might be lessened by a brain surgery, but there was no guarantee that it would do my memory any good. Ikuko said that she would let me have surgery if I wanted it. However, I refused. Even if I can't remember it, the real me is still there, sleeping inside my head. I was scared that the surgery might harm that me somehow. By now, I've gotten used to dealing with headaches. As long as I don't force myself to remember the past, the headaches don't torment me every day. So bit by bit, I became free of the headaches and got used to my new life as Hachijo Toya. Gradually, my interest shifted from myself to Ikuko. Hachijo Ikuko, a very strange woman. First off, she was apparently the daughter of a very well-off family, just as she had said. However, she was considerably eccentric, and the various mischievous incidents she spoke of had apparently gotten her within an inch of being disowned. As a result, she had been given this house and had been ordered to live here quietly and alone. She had never been a particularly social person, so she happily accepted this new state of affairs, living however she pleased, with servants to take care of her. That's the dream. Please? She's like, ah yeah, the Ushiromiya state, let's go. She had no friends. No one ever came to visit. When I wasn't around, she only talked to an old black cat she kept as a pet named Burn. Oh, hi, Burn. I don't know her real age. She doesn't seem to be too old to marry yet, but with an isolated life like this, she's likely to meet people. She sometimes says she just hasn't met anyone worth the trouble, but I think she's already given up on marriage. I just think she's not interested. Her everyday life was very simple. She would either read through the many detective novels that were brought to her, or else write detective novels herself. At first, I thought she was some novelist at a private retreat, plugging away at a new book. However, the manuscript she finished just ended up clipped together in a pile. With me as the sole exception, it didn't look like she ever let anyone read them. A novelist is someone who writes novels for people to read. So I figured you could hardly call her a novelist when she kept writing novels no one would ever see. Ikuko-san, why don't you ever show these to anyone?
そなたには見せています。無論、出来のマシなものに限りますが。
Haven't you ever thought of sending one to some publishing company? It's a waste otherwise, when your works are so interesting. Sometimes creating just for yourself or for a set of friends or just one person is enough. Not everything needs to be monetized, basically, but I think considering this is like the 80s, 90s-ish, somewhere around that time, I think this wasn't the whole monetizing your work wasn't like put into that much scrutiny. Plus she does write well, so I get it. But I want that free house, live alone. Yeah, same. Who doesn't want that? That's like the dream of every person. Just get a free house, live maybe alone or with just one person or just a few people, and never have to work. That's dream. I really want that.
プロには通じぬ。一度送ったことがあるが、さっぱりダメでした。私には分かっています。こんなもの、素人の道楽です。
No, they're just weak. They don't have taste. I don't think amateur is a fitting word for someone who's so well versed in detective novels from all times and all across the world.
大飯ぐらいが良き料理人になれるわけでもない。
She's not wrong, actually.
推理小説を読み散らすことが良き推理小説家であることを保証するわけでもない。そういうことです。だからこんなものは道楽に過ぎません。
Is it really fun to write novels that you won't show to anyone?
かつては楽しかった。かつては。
What about now?
そなたに感想を得ることが楽しい。とりあえず一章を書き終えました。お茶を用意させるので、また読んで感想を聞かせてもらえませんか？
Saying this with a smile, Ikuko thrust a pile of manuscript paper at me. I'm convinced that whether you read detective novels or write them, they're boring if you're all on your own. You can only find something really precious when you share that world with someone else. I was about to say, this is the whole it takes two to create a universe thing, but this time in a much more literal way. Headache. I'm fine. I'm more interested in this manuscript. Can't wait for the new chapter. The seasons passed, together with Ikuko in this town whose name I didn't even know. We spent our days debating detective novels and talking about ideas for new plots. At a glance, they have appeared to be stale and unproductive days. However, Hachijo Toya found satisfaction with this new life. Oh? Kurokubi Island? What? With a dramatic flourish of her pen, Ikuko signified that her manuscript was now complete. Okay, this is a different story. I think it's very good. I'd say the last farewell is sad enough to make it a moving story, not just a reasoning puzzle. Oh, this is probably the best part about creating things yourself, be it in writing or in music or in drawing. 1000% I feel this. Sometimes, or most of the time, at least for me, I draw mostly like for me. And when I do something that is like a banger, I'm like, yo, I'm so happy I'm the first who got to draw this and see it first. Sorry, my nose is a bit stuffy. I just mentioned some ideas. You're the one who turned them into such a fascinating story, Ikuko-san. You make a good duo. At some point, she wrote me in as well, and I too started my journey in the world of writing detective novels. Apparently, the old me had some talent for mysteries and detective novels and the like. I'm starting to get very scared. And my talent seemed to be a fairly unorthodox kind. I tried turning famous mysteries from across the world on their head, twisting those ideas into something new. However, a few ideas aren't enough to make a book. No meal is complete if all you can do is chop up vegetables. Thanks to Ikuko's writing, a skill she had built up over many years, my ideas were transformed into a work of fiction. In this work, The Strange Tale of Kurokubi Island, the two of us merged the best of our respective personalities. And though I hate to brag, it had turned into a masterpiece that we could show to anyone without shame. I wonder if this story in particular is a reference to a different novel or sound novel that Ryukishi has written before. Or if it's just kinda random. Ikuko called for some champagne over the internal phone line. Joined by the serpent who happened to be working that day and the cat Burn, meow, we raised our glasses high and toasted our accomplishment, meow. God, my nose is so stuffed. Help. Iko-san, I have an idea if you don't mind. Ma'am, why don't we try submitting our book? I've never read anything this interesting before. I'm sure lots of people will want to read it. I believe in your talent, Iko-san. What about you? Then it's decided. To Ikuko-san's big debut. Ah, We clinked our glasses once more, and on it went. Has Toya ever been mentioned in any of the novels that have been published? You must have had way too much to drink. Before I knew it, I must have passed out on the sofa. There was a blanket covering me. Iko-san must have put it there. The lights were out in the study, but it wasn't dark. The computer's monitor was glowing. Outside, it had started to rain. Reminded me of the day Iko-san found me and took me in. Because of that, whenever it rains, I find myself wondering who I was, and I usually get headaches. Considering this is a time where computers were available, late 80s, early 90s maybe? So I wasn't sure whether the pain was because of the rain or because I drank too much. Iko-san, turn on the lights. Using a computer in the dark is bad for your eyes. No, I slept well. I feel refreshed now. I turned on the light and looked out through a gap in the curtains. As I thought, it was some sort of pouring rain that always reminded me of that day. It's raining pretty hard out there. The wind looks pretty strong too. I hope the rain gutters don't get clogged with leaves again. Her answer sounded a little abstracted. Apparently her attention was absorbed by the computer. You've been pretty hooked up by that computer lately, Yoko-san. Did you find an interesting article or something? Oh! Is it time to start writing Umineko? Rokkenjima?
ロッケン島ミステリーの話は先日したでしょ。これが今ネットでブームになっているのです。
The music is dropping. Something's about to happen.
それを巡る議論や考察、中でも義書が実に面白い。義書というのは付近の島に流れ着いた後ろ宮マリアの署名のあるボトルメッセージが他にもあったと仮定して書いたもので。
Right, I forgot they were written. They were allegedly written by Maria. The bottles. Iko kept showing off her knowledge of the subject. However, a huge bell was clanging inside my head. Ow. The noise was so great that I thought my head would split open. Unable to tell what was the floor and what was the ceiling, I crumpled and clutched at my head. My head hurts. The Rokkenjima explosion accident. That many disquieting rumors surrounding it. The scheming of the relatives who were at the Ushiromiya Kinzo's vast wealth and hidden gold. And the truth? Ushiromiya Eva, the sole survivor, said nothing. Eventually, everything will be inherited by the granddaughter Ushiromiya Anje, who escaped harm because she was absent on that day. Anje, Ushiromiya Anje, is it you? I am Ushiromiya. Yeah! Ushiromiya who? No good. My head's getting split open. George, Nanjo, No! Shit, it's someone who was on the island. Incomprehensible scenes pierced my eyelids from the inside like blades of light. We saw Rudolph. Wait, no, we are seeing other people. Rosa... Just what am I looking at? Who are these people calling to me, but not by the name Toya? Jessica... Maria... Oh no... Who am I? Who are these people? What is this memory? Help me, Ikuko. Someone else's memory is hurting me. My head's splitting. Well, we did see Kanon, but we didn't see Battler, did we? So, maybe... Who knows? I could hear the sorrowful sound of wind, and that must be rain. Who was I again? I am Ushiromiya. Fuck, I think he's Batra.
エンジェ
お願いよ、返事をして。
Maybe it is Ange after all? Voices. Voices calling to me. That was, I think that was Rudolph and Kiria, wasn't it? Dad and Mom. It can't be. Then maybe it is Ange after all. But hold on. Hold on. Okay, we're finishing reading it and then I'm gonna see. It's either Ange or Battler is my thought. Or maybe, by an offshoot chance, it's Beato. But since we saw Kanon and Shannon, I'm thinking it's Battler instead. Because he's the only one we didn't see. And if it's not him, then I assume it's Ange. In 1986, on Dorkenjima, Mom and Dad...
エンジェしっかりしろ。お父さんの声が聞こえるか。
お願いだから返事をして。エンジェ。
Dad, Mom, I'll say it out loud. Dad, Mom.
エンジェ
I'm thinking it's Ange.
よかった。
I could feel my body being lifted up firmly and hugged roughly. Mom and Dad were hugging me. My eyelids had been open for a while now. I could feel the light slowly returning to my eyes. Just like your eyes get used to the dark, my eyes got used to the light, and bit by bit, the scene around me came into view. The rose garden. However, it was an unusual sight, which seemed to be very far away. My body was being hugged by Dad and Mom. Dad was sniffing, his face covered with tears. There were tears in Mom's eye too, as she held me tight. It was so strong that it hurt a bit. It held me with all their might. Me, the bad kid who wasn't obedient, who always had an excuse, who always tried to do the opposite of what her parents said. They held me tight to make sure I didn't head down the wrong path. As my eyes adjusted, I could see the other people besides my parents. Everyone was there. George Oni-chan, Jessica Oni-chan, Maria Oni-chan. My uncles and aunts. Sakutaro! Even Sakutaro! And the Witch Virgilia and Rodove! The pretty people, please. Oh, Ange! Hi!
そなたは幸運だった。偶然にも虚無の海の波間を漂うそなたを見つけたのだ。ひどい姿であったぞ。そなた自身がその姿を思い出すまでに随分と時間をかけた。
ベアトリーチェ、じゃあここは
It's a golden land.
兄弟、ここでお父さんたちはみんなお前が帰ってくるのを待ってたんだぞ。
Oh.
絶対にあなたは帰ってくると信じてた。
Did I come home because I was supposed to? Shit. I'm starting to tear up a bit. I've gone back to how I'm supposed to be, and now...
お前は帰ってきたんだ。
そうよ。あなたが私たちのところへ帰りたいと願ったから、ここへ帰ってこ。お父さん、お母さん、私は。今は何も言わなくていいわ。大変な冒険をしてきたわね。あなたは一人ぼっちで。
これで分かっただろう。
Dang it, sorry.
もう忘れないだろう。
I understand, Dad.
ここがお前の帰るべきところだってことだ。
When I gave that answer, Dad and Mom hugged me again. Hot tears fell onto my face. They were Dad's and Mom's tears.
無事でとはとても言えない姿だったけれど、よかったわ。帰ってきて。エヴァ、おばさん。私のことをいくらでも。だから、お父さんとお母さんに100万回キスをしてあげて、あなたのことをいつも思っているみんなにもキスをしてあげば。おばさん。
あなたのもう一人のお母さんにどうかただいまと言ってあげて。
Stop, I'm going to cry. Mom gave me a push from behind and I stumbled forwards. Towards my other mother.
ば、お母さん。エンジェちゃん。あの日、私がそう呼べていれば、私は何も謝ることがなかったかもしれない。私たちは新しい世界を二人で生み出せたかもしれない。もういいのよ。エンジェちゃんは帰ってきてくれたわ。だからもう何も言わなくていいのよ。
Man.
お母さん、お母さん、おかえり。エンジェちゃん、あなたは私の可愛い娘よ。エヴァお母さん、あなたはいつまでも、そして最後まで私の一番の味方だった。
The two of them hugged each other quietly, burying their faces in each other's shoulders and sobbing. God, I need the tissue. The truth wasn't worth anything at all. In the first place, the truth is always in the past. The point of the future isn't to learn what happened in the past. What really matters is where I can truly live and prosper in the truth that is the now. If I truly live and prosper, that is the truth. Back when I only ever tried to see the truth of the past, I was nothing more than a ghost trapped in that past. Since that time, I haven't lived a single day. Now I truly understand. This is what the real truth is.
私は生きるわ。そしてどれほどみんなに愛されていたかを思い出したわ。
Because I was young and selfish, I didn't even remember until now. The kind grandpa who always spoiled me. The entertaining aunts and uncles. All of the kind and gentle servants. It was always warm. And yet, because I was young and cruel, I never tried to remember any of that. Everyone got distorted by my irresponsible imagination, and I completely forgot the truth. Now I can remember clearly, and I understand. That Halloween quiz party certainly was an illusion. It never happened. However, didn't we all do kinds of fun things when the relatives gathered? Things that were no more or less fun than that party? And for the first time since the start of the game, I went up to each and every one of them to greet them, thank them, and apologize. To thank Grandpa for always pampering me. To thank my aunts and uncles. To thank the cousins for always playing with me even though I was so selfish. And I thanked and apologized to the illusions. I think I said something horrible to Saktaro once in the past. And to Maria One-chan too.
マリアお姉ちゃんは本当の魔女だったんだわ。
Of course she was.
マリアは最初から魔女だよ。エンジェだって一度はその領域に近づけたのにね。
本当の意味で分かってなんかいなかった。かわいそうなマリアお姉ちゃんのかわいそうな魔法、そんな風にしか見ていなかった。だから私には幸せのかけらが拾えない、見つけられない。かつてお姉ちゃんは私にそう言ったわ。
She did. Back in episode 4, didn't she?
仕方ないよ。宇宙は二人で作らないと生み出せない。
Yes, and she was missing the second person.
マリアにはベアトがいたけれど、エンジェは一人ぼっちだった。
いいえ、もしエヴァおばさんをお母さんと呼べていたら、私は二人だったわ。きっとマリアお姉ちゃんと同じ魔法で私は新しい世界を生み出せたわ。
すべてわらわのせいだ。わらわが面白半分に投じたボトルメッセージがそなたの未来に歪みを生み、わらわにもその責任がある。
まったくね。あんたのボトルメッセージのせいだわ。そのせいであんたの真似をした偽書を書く連中が現れて、どんどんおかしな話が膨らんでいった。
I do like that she doesn't 100% absolve Beato. of what she did. However, the message bottle thrown away by Beato did not name a specific person as the culprit. One of the forgers wrote a plausible forgery that had Ushiromiya Eva as the culprit, and it spread like wildfire. Even though I should have known better than anyone else that it was impossible, I accepted it in the end. Okay, I take back what I said.
どんな邪推を重ねようとも、私の中の真実はたった一つのはずだった。なのに、安易に私はみんなの温かな思い出を手放し、心を彼らに明け渡してしまった。
いやいや、そもそもわらわがボトルメッセージなど投じなければ、未来の六軒島はおかしな妄想の種にされることもなかったのだ。すべてはわらわのせいだ。
そうね、それもそうだわ。やっぱりあんたのせいだわ。
Okay, should I reinstate what I just said?
素直にそう言われるとカチンとくるぞ。わらわのせいだけでなく、やはりそなたも悪いのだ。
そうね、あんたも悪いし、私も悪いわ。でもお互い罵り合うのもバカらしい。
Yes.
だって私は未来の魔女、あなたは過去の魔女。未来に生きる私はその魔法で未来を築くべきなのよ。私たちは共に何らかの責任を負うけれど、それを責める資格はどちらにもないわ。
エンジェならマリアージュ・ソルシエールの教えをきっと理解してくれると思ってたよ。
Guess what time?
そうね、私はマリアージュ・ソルシエールの最後の一人としてお姉ちゃんの魔法を伝える義務があるわ。
マリアの魔法はみんなを幸せにする魔法なの。
うん、清らかなる魔法も邪悪なる魔法も思いのままよ。
本当ね、魔法は心の持ち方で全く違う姿に変わる。正しい導きがなければ正しい魔法は使えないわ。
God. Let me see if I have a tissue nearby. Oh, girl's not okay. And by girl's not okay, I mean me. I'm girls. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Oh, that was oh god, so much snot.
そして正しい魔法は人を幸福に導くわ。
素晴らしいことです。人を幸せにすることこそが魔女が魔法を振るう唯一の理由なのです。
Yes.
その教えをようやく我らが無限の魔女の系譜の最後の魔女に伝えることができて、私は嬉しいですよ。悪かったな。全然伝えてなくてよ。
Sometimes we just wanna bully, and that's okay.
未来の魔女エンジェ・ベアトリーチェ。
At least it's okay if it's Beato.
マリアージュ・ソルシエールは今こそあなたの著名を解く。
Yes. Yeah. I'm happy for her.
うりゅう、エンジェはきっと帰ってきてくれるって信じてたよ。おめでとうございます、エンジェ様。
I very much appreciate that Mamon is the first to congratulate her other than Sakutaro. Like girlfriend comes congratulate her girlfriend.
あなたたちと共に旅をした日に私は一度は理解をしたつもりでいたのに、ごめんね、本当にごめんね。
魔女は二人でなければ宇宙を生み出せぬ。未来のそなたは一人だが、本当に大丈夫か？
ええ、大丈夫。私はもう一人じゃないもの。私は生きるわ。みんなと一緒に そして未来に生きるマリアージュ・ソルシエルの魔法を伝えるために生き抜くことを誓うわ。マリアお姉ちゃんの魔法は私でさえ救ってくれたもの。
For the longest time, it
必要と
has.
している人たちはもっと大勢いる。それを正しく伝え、一人でも多くの人々を救うことがマリアージュ・ソルシエルの最後の魔女の私の使命なんだわ。
それは実現できそうか？
もちろんよ。そのための力だってあるわ。私の先代様エヴァ・ベアトリーチェがたっぷりと築き上げてくれた
Oh, hell
黄金
yeah.
の魔法があるもの。私はそれを全て継承しているわ。
How many years was that? 16 or so? 12? 12. I think it was 12.
私がもう少し健康で長生きできてたら全部使い切っちゃうつもりだったんだけどね。
As Anja laughed, tears poured from her eyes again. Everyone surrounded Anja with their kind, warm smiles. Butler! Oh god, not with the wingless. Not with the wingless, you're gonna kill me. Butler stood alone in the rose garden maze, letting the rain quietly fall on him. After searching for some time, Anje found him.
お兄ちゃん。
Anje, who was feeling guilty, sensed anger in her brother's expression. So she thought he was going to hit her. She shut her eyes. However, her brother touched her softly. He patted her head gently. Oh no. Help.
真実なんて大したもんじゃなかっただろ。
お兄ちゃんはこんなにも温かな世界でずっと私だけがずっと背を向けていたから。
お前は真実を知ってしまった。だから誰かが生きて帰ってくるかもしれないっていう奇跡や希望は。でもお前にはもう未来を生きるための新しい希望や使命があるな。
お兄ちゃんがその温かな希望を守ってくれてた。それを私が自ら開いて逃がしてしまった。パンドラの箱より始末が悪いわ。
A truth I didn't even know that flew out of my out of the box along with all my hopes. There might be a little tiny bit of hope, right? Just a tiny bit. If Toya turns out to be Bator after all, maybe. But given how the last scene went, it could be Anja too. So I'm holding. I'm holding question mark.
開けちまったならそれで空っぽなら後腐れがなくていいじゃねえか。下手な希望はかえってトゲになることもあるしな。
Okay, he's not wrong on that. Bator laughed heartily. Then with that same smile on his face, he told her.
俺たちはもう死んでる。
Not even gonna make a Fist of the North Star joke on this one, okay? I'm in pain.
ひょっとしたら生きてるかもしれないって希望がお前の12年間を生きる糧にしてくれた。それはもうきれいさっぱり全部。
分かってる。これからの私は新しい人生に踏み出すわ。
ベアとは六軒島を猫箱に閉ざし、次の魔女のエヴァおばさんはその猫箱の蓋を生涯守った。その次の魔女のお前はその蓋を開けちまったがだからって何だってんだ。過去の真実なんてどうでもいいことじゃねえか。
ええ、私はこれから真に生きる。そして 自分だけの真実を結実するわ。
頑張れよ。マリアージュ・ソルシエールの最後の魔女。マリアの魔導書を読んだぜ。あれはとてもいいことを書いた素晴らしい本だ。聖書だって翻訳がいる。
Yes.
ならマリアの魔導書にだって翻訳がいるだろう。
I love that we're equating Maria's grimoire with the Bible. This is a Bible I'd be willing to
お
read.
前がそれを翻訳するんだ。そしてかつてのお前と同じ境遇の子供たちに伝えてやれ。
Have you heard about our Lord Maria Ushiromiya?
それがお前の新しき未来の魔女の使命だ。俺はいない。でもお前の後ろにいつだっていて見守ってるからな。
知ってるわ。お兄ちゃんだけじゃないわ。みんなも一緒よ。
俺もみんなもずっとずっと永遠にお前それを忘れるな。
忘れないわ。絶対。永遠に。
Anja got into Butler's chest and sobbed. Stop! I literally just blew my nose! Now I'm starting to tear up again. Humans are sad creatures who can learn but not unlearn. She had already learned. It may have been a cruel, terrifying, merciless thing capable of destroying even a miracle called hope. However, there was still one tiny fragment left gripped in her hand. Her family's love. If she can just remember that and hold it tight, then surely Anja will live on. She'll be able to stop before taking that single step into nothingness.
それに六軒島の猫箱はまだ完全に開かれたわけじゃない。お前が中身を覗いちまっただけの話だ。だからお前が自ら蓋となれ。そして今度はお前が猫箱の中のみんなを守るんだ。俺や親父やキリエさん、いとこのみんなやおじさんたちおばさんたち、じいさまや使用人のみんな、幻想の住人のみんなをな。
うん。今度は私がみんなを守らなきゃ。
Yes.
それは急いだ方がいいんじゃない？
Oh yeah, right. We're gonna have to barge into the conference. The sound of popcorn being eaten rang out from beyond the rose bush. It was Lambda Delta. Hi,
あ
girl.
んたも知ってると思うけど、
Pros Noyes.
ベルンはもうじき一なる真実の書をパーティーで大公開するわ。会場には天国から地獄から異界から別世界からあらゆる世界の面々が集まってる。
From Parallel Worlds.
ここで中身を公表されたらもう何もかも手遅れよ。
Can you imagine fucking Rika Higurashi just shows up and she's like, "What? Why am I here?"
私行くわ。ベルンカステルにあの鍵を渡してしまった。私の責任だわ。私が行って取り返してくる。
図書の都にか。しかし入る方法がない。あそこには結界があるんだ。
あいつがこれをくれたの。これがあれば自由に出入りできるって。バカなやつね。私を捨てるとき回収を忘れたんだわ。
Whoops! Anja fished through her pockets and there was a jingling sound. It was a bell with a blue ribbon tied to it.
それよ、招待状と引き換えに渡される図書の都の臨時入館証。
Oh, it's like a pension in the
こ
convention.
れがあればとりあえず一人は図書の都に乗り込めるわね。
But can we sneak people in?
かけらの海を誰かが送ってくれればの話だけど。
ラムダデルタ、
Yeah, that's your job, Lambda.
私を図書の都に連れてって。
エンジェ。
それが私の責任の取り方だわ。私が一なる真実の書の公開を食い止める。
本気で言ってんの？あそこは化け物中の化け物の服までよ。ベルンの庇護を失ったあんたなんてハイイカのハムシ扱い。
But flies are nimble and easy. They can like dodge. They can dodge things, depending what you're using, relatively well.
ちっと叩いて潰されておしまいよ。
The bell was snatched from Anja's hands.
ラムダデルタ、そこには俺が行こう。お前は俺を送ってくれるだけでいい。どうせ俺は猫箱の中にしか存在できない。
No!
エンジは未来に生きなくちゃならない。
How about we go in all
そ
together?
してお前だって未来ある存在だ。だから俺が行く。俺には何も失うものなんてないんだからな。
Yes, you do. You have your wife to lose.
いいえ、これは私の責任。そして私のけじめ。私が自らの手でやらなきゃ未来は何も変わらない。そして未来の猫箱を何も救えない。
Anja tried to snatch the key from Batra's hand, but Batra had no intention of giving it up. The two of them were grimly serious, but from the sidelines it looked like an ordinary squabble between two close siblings. Cute. Lamba Delta watched this conversation and shrugged. If she just took one of them to the City of Books, she wouldn't have to make any enemies, and there was no risk to her. All she cared about was which one would make the story more interesting. Nothing else. But then she finally noticed.
ストップ。あんたたち、ちょっとストップ。ストップ。
何よ、後にしてよ。
今兄弟で大切な話をしてるんだ。
Yes, Batra is going like... Why am I here, Nipa? Yes, that's her. Rika from a parallel world.
まずあんたたち。
Okay, what if... But what if it's not just one Rika? What if it's every single Rika that didn't make it past June? I forgot the year, but you know, the June from Higurashi. A century's worth of Rika.
その組み合ってる手を解きなさい。鈴はバトラが持ってるのね。バトラ、跳ねてみて。
Jump?
跳ねるこうか。
Jingle, jingle.
次、エンジェ、跳ねてみて。
なんで私まで。え、どうして。
If Batra was holding the bell, where did that sound come from? Anja hurriedly searched through her pockets. When she did, another blue ribbon bell came out of a different pocket than the first one.
それこれと同じ鈴だよな。
Problem solved! Both can go in!
そんな、どうして2つ。私は1つしかもらわなかったわよ。
どうしてかなんか知らないわ。
Someone gave it to you, didn't they?
でもとにかくあんたは図書の都に入れる鈴を2つ持っている。
Oh, could have Erika have slipped it to
よ
her?
ってあんたたちの仲睦まじいやりとりをこれ以上見ている必要がなくなったわけ。
The pair of them gripped their bells and looked at each other.
最初から今回のゲームはあんたたち2人のものだわ。ただ対決するプレイヤーには若干の変更があったみたいね。あんたたち2人が競い合うゲームじゃない。猫箱をめぐって蓋を閉ざそうとするバトラとエンジェとエンジェはベルン側からバトラ側にチームを変更した。それだけの話。
Ah. Team change.
俺たちを図書の都へ連れて行ってくれ。
Yes, Lambda, let's go. Look, she's like, do I have to?
分かってるわよね。連れてくだけよ。
You know, given the stage play, you know, I think it would be really sick if Lambda, considering that she kind of plays the role of a spectator here, she's not a
今
character.
度こそ感激者に徹するからね。
Yes. After that, I'm done being anything but a spectator. Yeah, given that she's a spectator, wouldn't it be really sick if in the stage play she just comes out of like the crowds? Like one of the seats? Something similar. Maybe it's like, oh yeah, first row needs to be like empty because that's where Lambda's gonna sit.
あんたたちが図書の都で何をどう戦ってどうベルンにコテンパンにされるかをじっくりたっぷり間近で感激してるだけだからね。
You sure?
ラムダデルタ、ありがとう。
Oh, here we go! We're going into the City of Books! God. Already expelled enough snot for tonight. but we're gonna continue because we still have quite a bit of time left. We got a lot of time. Alright, Sea of Fragments it is. Pirate ship, ahoy! Right, Shannon and Cannon are the ones guarding the door. Shannon and Cannon stood guard in front of the door to the Golden Land. They glared quietly and fearlessly at the eerie fleet of ships across the horizon. Shannon slowly lifted her hands. Cannon raised his right hand and a red blade appeared from there.
そこで止まってください。それ以上の接近を拒否します。
それ以上近寄れば切る。
Yes. Do it. I still can't get over the fact that the flag is a cat. I love it. They could see a single dinghy leaving the fleet and approaching them. They couldn't tell if it was a messenger or the first wave. The Shannon and Cannon watched it cautiously. She has a hat! Oh my god! Couldn't have been a better appearance if I say so myself. Beautiful. Let's go. At the head of that thingy rowed by goats stood Erika. Where the heck did she get that thing from? It's a hat. It's just a hat. Maybe she's trying to act the part of the fleet's leader. Does she go yar? Erika was glaring at them and smiling aggressively. What appeared to be a pirate hat on her head.
最後通帳に参りました。交渉余地のあるものです。開門してください。
Okay, what's the negotiation? Shannon and Cannon looked at each other after they switched places. Erika was the one offering this deal. It wasn't likely to be anything agreeable. However, if they turned her away, the attack would probably begin at once. Since they were in a firmly inferior position, they wanted to buy time by any means they could. At Shannon's nod, Cannon raised his sword. Just hit delete. Deleted the layer. But with the way he's looking, I think he just blended out the layer. The Golden Land was filled with a hard downpour, accompanied by occasional thunder. Erika, who realized that this weather spoke for their emotions, smiled even more boldly. The men are squaring up. Women, square up! Square up, queens! At the center of the Golden Land was the arbor surrounded by the Golden Rose Garden. A large number of humans and illusions were there, arguing about something. Oh my god, Gertrude arguing with George? Even without asking, it was easy to guess the nature of the debate by their anguished expressions. After all, in this life or death situation, they didn't have many options they could take. Ah, yes, the lesbian bunnies, let's go. In the direction Erika was being held, Beata stood waiting, accompanied by the Chester sister corpse. When Erika, accompanied by her goat's guards, saw Beato, she gave a bow that only appeared graceful. Beato followed suit and gave a graceful bow of the sort that was rarely seen from her. Oh, OBS disconnected. We seem to be back. Okay, we're back. Let me just see if the stream is running well. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. Oh, this happens like every single stream now. I don't know why. OBS disconnects like once every stream. I need to figure out why that happens. As though implying that she was more than happy to go through with this farce, Beato introduced herself boldly and requested that Erika do the same. Thanks.
図書に名誉と保護を与えし司書の艦隊司令官にして真実の魔女フルドエリカと申します。どうぞお見知りおきを。
Make negotiations for the pirate hat!
お喜びください。我ら図書に名誉と保護を与えし司書の艦隊はあなた方に名誉ある朗報をもって参上しました。
Pirates of the Caribbean collab? Oh my god, what about... Okay, but what about One Piece collab?
一つ、図書の都は無限の魔女ベアトリーチェによって生み出されたゲーム版を名誉ある厳選されたる図書に認定されましたことを報告いたします。
After all, Toei animation is depicted by a cat, so... A cat musketeer, I believe, who kinda doesn't have a pirate hat, but is kinda similar to Erika's pirate hat, so
それは名誉なことで
このゲーム版は非常に興味深くかつ独創的で研究価値の高いものです。すべての市民に公開される価値のあるものです。
No!
よって図書の都は我らにこのゲーム版に永遠の名誉と保護を与えることを命ぜられました。
Uh-huh.
くどいし長い。とっとと本題を言え。
I love that she's like, fuck that, give me the TLDR.
本ゲーム版のすべてを名誉ある図書の都に譲渡することを要求します。
No.
これは本ゲーム版とその駒にとって最高の名誉と保護です。
There is a catch.
嫌だと言ったら
すべての市民に共有されるべき名誉文化を私的独占する罪で告発されます。
Oh my god, this is literally just entitlement. You know what? I feel like someone could literally take the exact same words Erika says and would send them to an artist to be like, the artwork that you didn't release to the public, you will be prosecuted for the crime of monopolizing a great cultural artifact that's ought to be shared among all of our subjects.
我々はあなたに対しすべての市民の権利と利益を保護するため攻撃を開始することを通告します。
その攻撃で市民の共有財産が破壊されるのは構わぬの。
名誉図書保護法の規定により名誉文化私的独占を犯す犯罪者がこれを盾に籠城を試みる場合執行官隊は大法院の許可を持って保護より逮捕を優先することが許されます。
What the fuck? This is stupid.
すでに
Colonialism over fanfic. Of course, we have already obtained. Oh my god.
その逮捕は生死を問わぬと書いてありそう
Oh.
おや
As I was saying, One Piece collab.
よくこんな小さい文字が読めますね。では茶番は以上です。ぶっちゃけどうします？
だ。そなたの要求を飲むとどのような利点があるという。
Yes.
お
Debate.
互い無駄な仕事をしなくて済みます。
What do you mean?
そしてあなたの勇敢にして名誉ある行為は図書の都にて誉れ高く終章に記されるでしょう。分かってますよね。
Stop circling the woman.
あなたは絶対勝てません。これは戦いでさえない。井戸の底で上を見上げるあなたに石をぶつけるだけの一方的なものなのですから。
わらわに選べるのは図書館の魔女たちがわらわの最後をいかに記すかだけという。
あとはあなた次第です。もしあなたがこのゲーム版を愛おしく思うなら駒たちは末永く大勢の市民に愛されその役目を永遠に続けることができるでしょう。
But given how the goats have torn apart this game board, can we even trust
つ
them?
まりは好き放題に生み出した惨劇を永遠に繰り返すというこ
あんたがしてきたことと何か違い
と。ない以上ならばわらわの答えを聞かせる。
がどうぞ。
What is it? Erika tensed slightly. After all, this was Great Lady Beatrice she was dealing with. She might shout, "Here's my answer," dramatically and do something crazy. They say a cornered rat is the most likely to bite a cat. That's true. Furthermore, Erika had intel telling her that the great lady Delta, Witch of the Senate, had been spending her time inside the Golden Land, though only as a theater goer. Erika needed to carry out this noble task that her master had assigned her, and she had to carry it out perfectly. If she was honest, she wanted to make Beata raise a white flag, even by trickery if necessary. So, even though this was a farce, she held back from giving any unneeded provocation. She gulped and tried to size Beato up. And then, with a pathetic expression on her face, Beato let out a sigh.
素直に言う。わらわはもう疲れた。
それはどういう意味です？
It's tiring being mean all the time. You know, you get it?
わらわのゲームはバトラとの戦いを終えた時点で。なのに、その後の都合で何度もゲームが繰り返されたのだ。わらわは正直もう疲れている。
She's like, we had 2 extra episodes after we got married. What more do you want?
正直、全く想像していないお返事でした。では、降伏なさると？本気で？
No.
ぶっちゃけると、どっちでもよい。降伏でも、そなたらに討ち取られるのでも、どっちでもよい。わらわは、誰の手であっても構わぬから、このゲーム版とその物語が幕を下ろすことを望んでいる。
Yes, let her sleep. Of course, that was a lie. She knew she couldn't win even if she fought. For now, their best option was to play for time. They would fix Erika's attention to this spot, and during that time, Battle and the others would steal the key from Bernkastel while she was completely off her guard. Once they had the key, they would return to the Golden Land, use that key to let Ange open the door to the future and see her off. That was their goal line. Everything that happened after that would be inside the cat box. Ange would live on into the future with hope. No one would know whether Beata and the others were alive or dead. That was enough. The only strategy Beata and the others could use to achieve this was to buy time.
降伏してくれるなら、拍子抜けではありますが、私も手間が省けて助かります。
ところが、そのだな。そう綺麗にはいかんのだ。そのだな。ここだけの話なのだが、そなたも存じておろうが、大ラムダデルタ教がご滞在されている。今日は我らにドラマチックなクライマックスを提供せよとな。
それはひどいわがままですね。10万の兵力を要する我が艦隊に、すでに解き終えたパズルみたいな絞りかすのあんたたちがほんの数十人どう抵抗させようというのです。
Oh my god, yeah. She already threw out the first provocation.
そうなのだ、そうなのだ。戦力差は圧倒的。戦いにさえならぬと我らは言っておるのだがな。そのラムダデルタ教が彼女の友人たちを集めて共闘するから徹底抗戦せよと言って聞かぬのだ。
ラムダデルタ教のご友人？
Uh-oh. Unlike Bernkastel, who kept to herself, Rambadelta had many friends. Her friends and patrons were either territory lords of great influence who came from all over the place, or else monsters that had become legends in their own lifetimes. Okay, never mind. I thought she was gonna be, Rambadelta doesn't have friends, you're lying! In all seriousness, her so-called fan club had enough size and influence that it could have suddenly declared itself a separate country in the Sea of Fragments without anyone being overly surprised. Ah yeah, Rambadelta land. Butterflies and cat. Very good.
困ったことにラムダデルタ教はやる気満々でな。さっきから勝手に各地に電話を繰り返し友人知人を呼びつけておるのだ。
Of course, this was all a lie. Rambadelta had turned into small candy comet and was now shooting towards the city of books, with Batra and Ange in tow. So to make sure that Rambadelta's and Batra's absences were not noticed, everyone was crowded around the arbor, pretending to argue furiously with each other.
バトラ様、ご決断を。我ら煉獄の七姉妹、いつでも死ぬ覚悟はできております。
玉砕には反対だ。死んで咲く果実などありはせんよ。
I mean, you will die either way.
生きて旅衆の恥ずかしめを受けるなど考えられません。
Hold on. All right. Okay, I'm back. I just had to close the door of the bedroom again.
生きてこそチャンスを待てることもあります。
そうですとも。短期は損期とも申します。
マトラ、男ならバシッと決めろい。大ラムダデルタ様が力を貸してくれるってんだろう。
どうかんや。男には決断の時があるんやで。
決断は選んだ内容よりも選んだ時を称賛されることもございます。
幸福すれば乱暴はしないかも。
そんなことあるわけないわよ。あんたそれでもオスライオン？牙はどこに行ったのよ。
どうせ死ぬなら豚としてでなく狼として死にたい。
あんたバカ。そういうのを犬死にって言うのよ。
ラムダデルタさんの呼び寄せる援軍の力次第ですな。
ラムダデルタさん、本当にあなたのお友達はあいつらに勝てるだけの力があるの？
賭けね。
Is she bringing them over though?
賭けに出て敗れて死ぬか。あら、なら賭けに出た方が生き残れる可能性は高いってことになるわ。
大本院は名誉ある幸福には慈悲を与えるでしょ
バックは元老院だろ。どうせなんだかんだ言って全員断頭台に決まったら。
I love that Will is like, no, fuck the Senate.
とにかく皆さん冷静に頭を冷やしましょう。私はことを荒立てることには反対です。
君こそ冷静になるべきじゃないかい。相互確証破壊という戦略もある。
What the? Shut up, George.
こちらもただで済ます気はないという戦略は相手への抑止になるよ。
Leon is very calm. Like, no, stop.
つまりよ、そっちがやる気ならこっちもただじゃ死なねえぜってことだぜ。
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, Jessica.
ラムダデルタの友達はみんなすごいよ。みんなすごい伝説と武勇伝を持つすっごい魔女や怪物。あんなお船が星と同じ数を並べていたって一息で吹き飛ばしてしまうよ。
Oh, she is. She is like the most excited out of everyone.
大丈夫でしょうか。私たちの演技蹴取られないでしょうか。
問題ない。お前ももっと語気を強めて喋るのだ。Uminekoに行け。
I love this.
腰抜けどもめ、最後に一花咲かせてやろうという気概はないのか。
Praising.
ちょっとお待ちください。戦いを望まぬ者がいることもお忘れなく。私は降参が良いかと思います。
No, Goda, no. You can't cook like this.
ゴーダー、この敗北主義じゃんめ。
Did he punch him?
痛い親方様、演技出すのであいた。
Well, Preston Heck. Oh, he's being pinched.
議論も盛り上がってきたね。
The very potent technique of pinching people.
私たちは幸福かしら、当選かしら、どうなのかしら。それは誰にもわからない。
個人的にはわらわは幸福を望んでいる。どうせ役目を終えるのならせめて自分が生み出したこのゲーム版はそのままに保存されることを望む。もうこれ以上わらわのゲーム版をラムダデルタ教に好き放題されるのはごめんなのでな。
こちらこそごめんです。あんたとは戦いに来ましたが、ラムダデルタ教のご友人は私の相手の度を超えます。
Secretly, Erika was getting worried by these complicated developments, and she was relieved that she hadn't pushed too hard earlier on. She wanted to flatter Beato and end this with a bloodless takeover. Even the great Lady Lambda Delta probably wouldn't seriously think of picking a fight with the Senate. Her motive was probably something much more trivial, a simple desire to watch the game board's final fireworks from a front row seat. However, if she really did have some fireworks of her own prepared, it was at least possible that this could turn into a ruckus that Erika would have no chance of quelling. Beato saw all of this going on in Erika's mind, so she continued to act with an even more pathetic expression on her face. Even among witches, her acting ability was top-notch. I believe it.
どうか力を貸してはくれぬか。わらわのゲーム版が美しい姿のまま保存されるように。やはりあの賑やかな御人を客人として招いたのは失敗だった。とほほほ。
The way she's acting! Oh, Sayaka Ohara, my beloved.
わかりました。私もことを荒立てずに済むならそうしたいです。で、私はどのような協力をすれば？
わらわたちはさっきから降伏か降戦か議論を続けている。わらはもうそれに戻り降伏を主張し、ラムダデルタ教にこのゲーム版を壊してしまうような大騒ぎはやめてほしいと頼むつもりだ。
Please do not light up the fireworks and shoot them into the stage. Don't do that.
助かります。で、どうしろと？
わらわたちに議論の時間を保証してほしい。何しろそなたらの船がぐるりと取り囲み威圧しているのだからな。いつ攻撃されるかもわからぬと緊張感に耐えかねて皆破れかぶれになっておるのだ。だからそなたが我らに議論の時間を保証してくれれば一同も冷静になれる時間を取り戻せるだろう。わらわもラムダデルタ教を説得できる十分な時間を得られる。
might be hard.
時間はいかほど必要です？
できれば気前よく無制限とはいかぬか。
She's like, how about 300 years?
期限があれば結局は残り時間が少なくなるとまたみんな破れかぶれになり過激な意見に統一されてしまう。
そりゃそうですね。導火線で大事なのは火がついているかいないかです。その議論の前に導火線の長さなどどうでもいいことで。
ではしばし時間をもらえるか。
I don't know if she will.
わかりました。議論の時間を保証します。ただし無期限ではありません。私はここで皆さんの議論を聞きながら待たせてもらいます。
それがそのだな。そなたの姿が見えていてはやはり今緊張してしまった。
They're all on edge.
私はすでに譲歩をしました。今度はあなたが私に譲歩をする番ではありませんか？
They were some distance away from the arbor, but it was just close enough to give a general idea of what was going on. It was as far enough that they just might be able to hide the fact that Battler and Lambda were missing. Just far enough for them to convincingly act like this was a white-hot argument in gridlock. If it were possible, they would rather have kept Erika at an even greater distance. They had planned to set up a seat of honor for their guests at one of the far corners of the garden maze.
何か問題でも？
わかったわかった。そう怖い顔をするでない。ならここでしばらく待つがよい。秘密会議であるからな。そなたはだな、この線よりこちらに来てはならぬぞ。
She draws a line in the sand with her pipe. Beato drew a line in the ground with her foot. Okay, I thought she was gonna draw it with her pipe. It would have been so funny.
わらわの顔も立てよ。そなたがこれだけ寛大な配慮をしてくれたことはわらわにとって何よりの武器となるのだ。
椅子もらえます？
I want the chair.
わかった。シエスタ隊よ。すぐにエリカ殿にお椅子と傘を。手ぬぐいもな。わらわが自ら拭いてピカピカにしてから差し上げようぞ。
Oh my god. I think she knows that this is just to buy time.
守備はいかがでございましたか？
Hello, sir. There are no updates.
今年の主演女優賞はわらわで決まりだぞ。
さすがベアトリーチェ様。
僕たちにできることは激論を交わし紛糾し、ことがこじれれば面倒なことになると演出することだけだ。
これもまたバトラたちを援護する戦いである。
Oh my god, everyone's like, alright, everybody, you know your lines, you know your positions. We have practiced this in what's it called, Werewolf? We can pull this off.
な、気を引き締めよ。本気で激論し、罵倒せよ。
Oh my god, like, no, wait, they practice this in like every single family reunion, every single family conference. They have how many years of experience with this? Enough. They have decades. They can pull this off.
Why?
What happened? The sight of Goda, his cheek red and swollen from being pinched, made everyone snort, but they quickly covered their mouths and put fingers to their lips. Then everyone nodded at each other. The fake argument resumed. Oh, the goats are there. Erika was sitting in the chair that the Chester sisters had brought her, filling a goat in on details of their discussions. The goats would probably return and tell the rest of the fleet. The fleet will tell Bunkenstell, and Bunkenstell might think of some plan to deal with the situation or give new orders. The conversation with the goat ended and it spun around. We'll return to the dinghy and report on this to the fleet. It slid out from a rose bush and passed through the garden maze, heading towards the door that led outside. Is it really okay to let that goat reach the boats? If it goes back, Erika's report will reach Bunkenstell's ears. The Chester sisters spoke through a secret channel that only they could use. Or are they gonna assassinate him? Careful. Your permission to assassinate a goat. I get the feeling that she has planned this.
許可しない。分子が制限時間を切らずに船を出ると思うか。連絡がなくば決められた時間の後に攻撃を開始せよと。
Okay, Beato knows.
そのヤギを見逃す。
W 了解。
The fact that we're thinking about like we're really super strategizing here is so funny. I love it. The goat passed through the door. Then after receiving a silent bow from Shannon and Canon, it got on the dinghy and returned to the fleet. The fleet would probably follow Erika's orders and stand by until an attack order was given. That gave the residents of the Golden Land a chance to assassinate Erika. But of course, that wasn't going to be possible, practically speaking. She was Bunkenstell's greatest underling and a witch who controlled truth. Tricking her was all they could hope for. Anything else would be overconfident. The goats? Oh, the Chester sisters. There's some 5D chess going on here right now, without any hint that she had just been talking about assassinations. 00 stood upright with her hands clasped behind her back, just like her sprite. Surrender or resist until the end. The false argument be resumed. Just how far and how long would they be able to trick Erika? Yes, the final fight for the Golden Land had already begun.
Battle. ここは我らに任せよ。そなたはエンジェと最後のゲームを取り返すのだ。
Alright, where are we? Oh, City of Books. Still such a pretty place, holy shit.
なんてバカでかい図書館だ。
It's infinite.
この一冊一冊に
私たちのような物語が記されてるんですって。
And we are just one of those books, huh?
ここは神様の世界だな。
あんたたち風情が立ち入っていい場所じゃないってことが一目でわかるでしょ。
I really like this way of personifying just one small tale in like the grand scheme of things on the earth. It's just a small book among a library that is this vast. I really like that. After passing through the barrier, the three of them had finally made it inside the City of Books. And actually, just to get back on that point, it's kind of like that in history too, isn't it? A lot of historic events are just, for many of us who are in school, who maybe learn about like the monarchy and stuff, like in a few books. It's just one book, many centuries, many decades, so many lives that lived in that time, all just encapsulated in one book, and we don't even get to learn who all these people were, do we? For some time, they were overcome by the countless otherworldly sights before them, but they quickly remembered their original objective.
いい？まず勘違いしないでほしいの。あんたたちはベルンと戦いに来たわ。でもそれはベルンと直接戦って倒すとか、そういう意味じゃないんだからね。
分かってる。
そもそも大ベアドリーチェと互角にあんたが戦えたのはゲーム版の上で互角なルールに守られて戦っていたからよ。ゲーム版を出ればあんたなんかバチンって叩かれて手のひらのシミになる程度の存在なんだからね。それを忘れるんじゃないわよ。
そうよね。ここはもう私たちの知るゲーム版じゃない。
俺たちは戦いに来たんじゃない。取り戻しに来ただけだ。
そういうこと。一なる真実の書の公開を妨げること。それだけが目的であんたたちの戦いなんだからね。そこを勘違いしちゃダメよ。
Battle and Anja nodded to show their understanding.
一なる真実の書はパーティーのど真ん中に堂々と飾られてるから奪い返すのは不可能よ。でも式次第によると鍵が入場してくることになってる。
ということは鍵は別の場所に保管されているわけか。
ああ。
そこが無防備という保証はないけどね。
あとはあんたたちの運次第よ。せいぜい幸運を祈るのね。隠れて。
Oh! Amadalta pulled her back from around the corner of a bookshelf. The others hurriedly followed suit. In the distance, they saw emerald green lights floating about and leaving trails. Those are Burns' cats. Yeah. The many kitties.
ベルンの使い魔の猫よ。今日はあちこちを巡回して見張っているわ。
私たちが来ることも読まれてる。
違うわ。ここは広大だからね。迷子になるアンポンタンな来客を迷子センターにお連れするためのスタッフ猫よ。
俺たちが行きたいのは迷子センターじゃねえからな。
見つかりそうになったらやる？
よした方がいいわ。よその領地やゲーム版ならともかく、ここはベルンのホームグラウンドよ。あの猫一匹で猛獣の群れに囲まれたくらいの危機感は持つことね。しかも猫よ。勘も鋭いし仲間も呼ぶわ。
Yep.
蹴取られたらその時は覚悟しなさい。私も助けないからね。あんたたちをここへ連れ込んだだけでかなり厄介。私が降参すれば裸にひんむかれて最悪のゲロカスかけら巡り100年くらいで許してもらえるかも。
For just a century?
素敵だわ。私にもベルンの気持ちがちょっとは理解できるようになるかもね。
Amadalta wasn't laughing. Most likely, even this punishment she spoke of was pretty optimistic. Even though she kept saying that she won't help anymore. She's already risking everything. Why?
決まってんでしょ。
Amadalta brushed her hair back and grinned.
あんたたちが最高のハッピーエンドを見せてくれるからでしょうが。
Oh! Look at them! Look at them! I love this! Square up! Square up! Amadalta hugged their heads at the same time, making their foreheads bung together. I love them.
絶対
せてやるぜ。絶対のハッピーエンド。
絶対に取り返す。行くわよ。こっちよ。静かに泳いで。
Swim quietly! The three of them swam out into the darkness of the deep ocean trench that was the City of Books. Also, banger song. In that massive, vast trench of bookshelves, they vanished into the darkness almost immediately. The library defied the common sense of the human world. The City of Books, the world city, was no exaggeration, and was filled with the green glowing eyes of Bernkastel's countless cat familiars. Trying to count them would be almost as crazy as counting all the fish in the ocean. They formed schools that swam all over the place, on the lookout for any fools who might miraculously have managed to slip in and disturb their master's party. Oh, meow! Kitties! If Battler's group was found, the cats would report it instantly. They would probably form a pack, open their large mouths, and swallow them in a single gulp. There will be no fight. In this place, Battler's party would be swallowed like tiny fishes if they were discovered. The warships surrounding the Golden Land were well more than 100 strong. Each of them had dozens of cannons pointing at the door to the Golden Land. The goats that packed the decks of the ships numbered in the tens of thousands. Each one of them carried enough anti-magic toxin in their fangs to completely deny one of the game board pieces. This time they would chew apart and eat away everything. Sorry, I need to... My nose got stuffed again. This time they would chew apart and eat away everything. The crowd of goats unleashed their rotten breasts and dangling drool. At that time, Erika, who wanted to avoid trouble and hoped Beata would be able to convince Rambadelta to surrender peacefully, was sitting alone, calmly enjoying the tea Ronove had poured for her. Thank you so much, sir! Thank you, sir! Of course, even Erika was planning to give them unlimited time. In her mind, she had already decided to allow them 3 yawns before stepping in. Oh, I very much appreciate. He's having a good time. Yes, I am. Yes, sir, I would like another tea. Please? Please, I would like another! The messenger cat shook its head, meow, and then continued to disappointedly meow its report. Even as she said this, Bernkastel was chewing away at her thumbnail. It was possible. She could think of many monsters among Rambadelta's friends who would love to see a losing side gain support and make a comeback victory. Before she realized it, the finger Bernkastel was biting was covered with sweat. You know her girlfriend best, after all. The cat leapt away and then flew back with a phone and receiver. Oh, burn! Whoops! Does hello work? Meow! Yes, just greet with a meow. Just go like, oh, hello? Unironically, I've picked up the phone when my boyfriend called me. When my man called me on the phone, I answered with a "oh, well, hey, well," once. A few times, actually. The golden key was being kept in a room inside the City of Books. However, perhaps room wasn't fitting word to use. It was large enough that you could probably fit two that was about to say two domed baseball stadiums. Two domed baseball stadiums in it if you tried. Even so, in the city, these were called rooms. Floating in the center of this vast room were several sacred magic, not scared magic circles. Wrapped around by these magic circles was Anja's gold key. Surrounding these were countless emerald green stars which looked like a slowly revolving planetarium. It's the kitties! The eyes that numbered the same as the stars were all glaring in the same direction. But are you really? One of the cats cat paddled towards Eva, meowing that no one was allowed to enter this room. The cats are saying no. After looking at each other with suspicious eyes, the cats glared at Eva again, as though saying that they hadn't heard any such order. No, don't hurt the kitties! No! Wow! No, don't hurt the kitties, just make them go away. No! Don't eat the cats! No! Eva lifted up her golden staff, and the floor and ceiling of the vast room were covered with red lines. The reaction from the cats was lightning fast. They realized instantly that this was hostile behavior. The entire emerald green constellation right then became a single massive deep-sea fish, which charged at Eva with its cavernous mouth open wide. Cavernous. However, at the same time, the red lines on the floor and sealing the massive spider web pinched itself together and crushed the fish. Twisted it, spun it around and around, and compressed it into the size of a small ball. Small kitty ball! A small nya! Oh. No, not like this! No! I always get sad when cats get hurt. Then that ball-shaped thing burst open, leaving nothing left. It all happened in an instant. Man, poor kitties. Could have just made a ball and then tossed the web as a yarn ball, and then the cats could have been like, meow! Neuron activation and chased it. The witch hunters were holding a convention in the event hall. After all, when Ushirame Eva's diary was opened, the endless cat box would be lost, along with the countless imagined stories that had entertained them for so long. So, this final convention was a time for them to air their best theories one last time. While the opening of the cat box did give them a slightly lonely feeling, they couldn't contain their excitement as intellectual... Can't say the word. Not when they knew that the Rokkenjima mystery was finally going to be solved once and for all. If that box were opened, a single girl would be hurt. However, their jaws and fangs couldn't care less. The witch-hunting goat nobles kept licking their lips, wanting to chew apart the guts of Beatrice's cat box as soon as they could. Seated upon a solemn throne so tall it looked like a pillar, Federine listened in on the nonsense being spewed from the mouths of the goat nobles. A black cat wearing a cape silently appeared and whispered something into Federine's ear. The cat bowed humbly and vanished. Federine raised her wine glass high and laughed as she looked through it to the light of the current chandelier, which was as beautiful and majestic as the moon.
これをどう思う？
罠か。
As Batro's group moved forward, darting from bookshelf to bookshelf and avoiding the eyes of the cats, they found something strange. Written at the faintly glowing red substance was a letter and an arrow. K. That's what it looked like to them. Those marks only appeared when we got close. Oh. Well? Anja traced the red arrow with her finger. It was written with very faint, thin strings that had been tied together. This red stuff, which was stuck to her finger and tore away like cotton candy, had to be... It's Eva!
いや、俺にも分かった。ラムダ、これを書いたやつは信用できる。多分、安全に鍵のありかへたどり着けるよ。誘導。いいのね。じゃあ行きましょう。あまりもたもたしていられない。ありがとう、お母さん。
Oh! Ow! Ah! Ouch! She calls her mom. In the arbor, the argument over whether they should surrender or fight continued without signs of stopping. Whoa! Every now and then a small fight would break out, which fortunately ended up delaying Erika's third yawn. However, they didn't know how long they would have to continue this fate fight. Keeping this high level of tension going was physically stressful. The instant they tired out and the tension faded, Erika would probably demand a verdict. They had to constantly appear to be trapped and agitated. It was a battle of wariness and tension. This was their fight. Erika waited patiently. She looked amused. Now that she had tired of tea, she was watching Ronove perform some magic tricks. What tricks is he performing? And seemed to be enjoying herself considerably. Yes, he can entertain her. I believe in him. Even Ronove was usually aloof from the world. Who was usually aloof from the world was fighting. If Erika got bored and had a tantrum, an all-out attack would probably begin at once. He was also putting his life on the line in the fight to buy time for Battle's group. He's doing the best he can with his magic tricks. I wonder if it's just cooking. As the fiercest leader in the argument, Beato wore out the quickest. She breathed heavily and her face was so pale it seemed she might faint at any moment. Her throat is tired.
急に泣き出したふりをしてしばらく休んで、その間を私たちがつなぐわ。
まだ大丈夫であるとやるぞ。もう一度大きく騒ごうではないか。行くぞ。さあ誰から行く？一番槍の欲しいものは。
ではゴーダ、参ります。
Look at him.
ここは戦うべきです。戦わずして敗北を受け入れることなど言語道断です。私は最初からここは戦い抜くべきだと申し上げております。
No, you didn't.
ちょっと待ってください。
Oh, she noticed something is inconsistent. Erika suddenly rose from her chair. Ronove tried to coax her back into her seat, but Erika's attention was completely focused on those arguing under the arbor. Oh, Goda, you fucked us over.
私は探偵です。聞いたことは録音するかのように記憶できます。
Shit, we're fucked. Goda, you fucked us!
知っているとも。そなたは優秀な探偵でもあるからな。
あんたに興味ありません。ゴーダさん、私の質問に答えてください。
はい、私めが何かご無礼をいたしましたでしょうか。
ちょっとお待ちください。戦いを望まぬ者がいることもお忘れなく、私は降参が良いかと思います。私がここに訪れて一番最初に聞いたあなたの発言です。
Oh, god damn it, Goda!
ですが今、
あなたはこうおっしゃいました。ここは戦うべきです。戦わずして敗北を受け入れることなど言語道断です。私は最初からここは戦い抜くべきだと申し上げております。そう言いました。
Welp, what now?
いや、そんなことも申し上げたでしょうか。
議論の中で意見が変わることも時にあるかと思います。
Yeah.
そうですとも。他の皆さんも先ほどからどちらがいいか迷っておりまして、時に意見を変えられることも。
いいえ、あなたたちの議論は一貫して誰も意見を変えていません。
Except you.
たった今、唐突に合田さんだけがその主張を逆転させました。
Oh goddamn.
しかも合田さんに対する他の人間からの発言を振り返っても、彼が主張を逆転させるに足るものがあったとは思えません。
An uncomfortable moist wind blew by. Everyone was silent, frozen as though time had stopped. In that silence, Erika continued with a blank expression.
以上から導き出される推理は2つです。1つは合田さんにもともと意見はなく、その場の雰囲気で適当なことを言ういい加減な人間であること。もう1つは合田さんに限らず、そもそも誰も意見などなく、議論そのものが。
それは考えすぎではないか。わらわたちは必死に今後の運命を議論している。時に普段は考えられぬ心変わりがあってもおかしくはない。
意味もなく議論を炎上することに意味があるとすれば、時間を稼ぐこと。
Oh, she's catching on.
あなたたちは時間を稼ぐと何が有利になるのです？ラムダデルタ教の援軍がやってくるからですか？それも違います。なぜならあなたたちは先ほどから時折ラムダデルタ教やバトラに話しかけているのですが、それに対する返事が一度たりとも私の耳に聞こえません。
Welp.
以上すべてから考えて導き出される推理は一つです。
The Lady Ramba Delta, that Lady Ramba Delta and Battler are not here now. That these people have won Lady Ramba Delta's assistance, with Lady Ramba Delta and Battler probably planning to sneak into the City of Books. In which case, their goal is probably to steal back the Golden Key and Anje. And your plan was to act as bait and buy time until their mission was complete.
ただ合田さんがセリフを言い間違えるだけで、フルドエリカにはこの程度の推理が可能です。
Damn it, Goda!
いかがです？
Why did you do this to us?
皆様方。
With a blank yet ruthless expression, Erika spoke those words and returned to her seat. Everyone else was frozen, unable to move. No one spoke. However, time was moving. As evidence, a bed of sweat dripped down someone's cheek, fell and hit the table with a tiny yet audible splat. Oh god! Then frozen time shattered, and in the same instant the white chair Erika had been sitting in broke apart. The stakes of the Seven Sisters of Purgatory and the high-velocity rounds from Chiester's sister corpse hit the chair at exactly the same time. And a few moments after that, the Erika sitting in that chair faded and vanished. In an instant, Erika had moved to a spot behind the chair. Her expression remained as blank as it had been before, which is still with her pirate hat. However, there was now something in her hand that hadn't been there. As the 7 lightning strikes of the 7 sisters raced at her, once more she batted all of them away with her sight. Erika lifted her left hand, the one that wasn't holding the scythe.
よかろうぞ。わらわが答えよう。ここはわらわの、我らの黄金鏡。土足で踏み入るならば、相応の歓迎をしようぞ。
I love this line, it's so good.
上品に一言で言うとな。
You're not welcome.
全訪問、攻撃陣、目標、黄金鏡。
味噌汁で顔洗って出直してきやがれ。
Let's go, we're fighting!
打ちやれ。
そう、ありがとう。
Oh, she managed to find the phone number?
それじゃ、にゃー。
Mia! Bernkan still set down the receiver and crossed out yet another name on a list of Lambda Delta's notable friends. Something was wrong. Not a single person she called had heard anything from Lambda Delta. They weren't just playing dumb. They really knew nothing about the strange ruckus Lambda Delta was trying to stir up. Even when Bernkan was starting to suspect that something was fishy. Then, a black cat leapt in and meowed a frantic report. She tore the phone receiver from its stand. The number she dialed was short. It was probably an internal line. However, after listening to it ring several times, she slammed the receiver down again, finally managing to break the phone. Oh, she pissed. Bernkastel, overwhelmed with emotion, kicked the table over. Then the room finally grew bright. It was like green sunlight. A bright green light waved about, giving the illusion that a green sun was rising and lighting the room up. It was a sign that Bernkastel's army had been given an emergency summons. Oh, okay. What was now an emerald green nebula let out a roar of delight that shook the bookshelf's cliff. I wonder how such a cat would look like. The three of them frantically hid behind the bookshelf. The room with the key in it was straight ahead. They could see something glinting faintly in the darkness of that room. It was a glint different from anything else they had seen so far in the city. The color of the glint was gold. They had almost reached the golden key. However, if they went towards it, Bernkastel would be right behind them, along with her vast swarm of familiars. In other words, they were trapped in a dead end. They already knew that the emerald green color came from the eyes of the familiars. However, it was almost beyond comprehension that this undulating green sun could be the same thing. And they could do nothing except stare in wide-eyed shock. The countless cats were passing through the ravine of bookshelves from the very top of the very bottom. As they approached, they painstakingly checked the gaps between each book. However, even this mind-numbingly huge task was accomplished swiftly thanks to the sheer number of familiars. With the speed of a gust of wind, they carefully checked every nook and cranny. There was no way to hide from this green sun. That would have been as foolish as trying to hide from a water on a sinking ship. Battle was just about to leap out from the shadows, but Lambda Delta grabbed him by the collar an instant before. Yes, she did. They'll find a way. Oh, they can destroy it, right?
鍵をカードに何かの交渉ができるかもしれない。
あのベルに交渉？あんた正気じゃないわ。
だがここに隠れてても絶対に見つかる。なら100億の中の一つの確率だとしても俺はそれにかけるぜ。
Oh, it's better than nothing.
鍵を手に入れそれを切り札に奴となんとか立ち
奇跡の魔女を相手にあんたは奇跡を祈るわけ？
天文学的数字の中にそれが後ろ宮家の魔法ってやつだぜ。
Let's go. I believe in them. I think they can do it.
目がいいから教えてあげる。あの黄金の鍵を取り囲んでる魔法陣わかる？あれは簡単だけどなかなか堅牢な結界よ。触れば壊せる簡単な結界だけれどもね、どんな大魔女でも人間風情でも解くのにかっきり1時間をかけるというたちの悪い封印なのよ。
Oh no!
式典の進行上まだ1時間前にはなってない。つまり私たちは1時間稼がなきゃ鍵に触れることさえできないのよ。
1 hour.
エヴァおばさんは
Can we do it?
見張りの猫たちをやっつけた時魔法陣も壊してくれたに違いないわ。1時間はかからないはず。
見る限りまだ魔法陣は健在ね。残念ながらエヴァがそうしてくれたとしてもそれは1時間以内の話みたいよ。
1時間なんてちょろいもんだぜ。少なくともそれだけ粘れば手に入るという明白なゴールがある。
そうね、いいじゃない。1時間の鬼ごっこ。私こわもてに追いかけ回されるのには慣れてるの。
Oh yeah, she can pull it off. She managed it for days.
ふらつきのパー揃いね。ベルンとあの数の猫を相手に本気で鬼ごっこをさせてもらえると？
Yeah.
確率が 1% でもあるなら
俺たちが絶対にそれを掴み取ってやる。
The difference in enthusiasm between the siblings who had everything to lose and Ramba Delta was immense. However, Ramba Delta was no coward. She was a great witch of the Senate. If she surrendered, she wouldn't be able to escape severe punishment, but she would be forgiven after a few hundred years. Why would she, after being thrown into a stormy sea while clutching a buoy that could save only her, decide to throw that buoy, oh god, buoy away? No living person could be as determined as those siblings who were already fighting for their lives. No one could blame Lambda.
もう本当にバカだわ。あんたたちは仕方ないわね。 1% よりもうちょっと確率が高くなる作戦を教えてあげるわ。ズバリ何だと思う？
Oh? Oh, what she got? The two siblings looked at each other. However, they both thought that any plan would be worth listening to, even if it would raise their chances by 1.00001%.
ベルンは猫だから逃げる獲物は追うけれど逃げない獲物は殺す。それもネチネチといたぶってね。
最悪ね。
しかしそれが本当ならかける価値。
生贄を一人じゃんけんで選びましょう。負けた子はベルンをたっぷり挑発して笑わせて殺されて1分1秒でも時間を稼ぐ。
It's gotta be Lambda, isn't it?
それでいいわね。
じゃんけんはいらない。俺がやる。エンジェとラムダが鍵の部屋へ行ってくれ。
Oh, Battler's gonna do it!
ダメよお兄ちゃん。元はといえばこれは私の責任。
Oh no, they're gonna start fighting
ベルン
again.
パステルの言葉に耳を貸し心を許した私の責任なのよ。だからあいつに一言くらい言ってやりたいのよ。
Both Battler and Anja decided to be the sacrifice and wouldn't listen to the other.
ね、じゃんけんじゃないと決まらないでしょ。
She's like, well,
さっさと決めないとこの作戦も使えなくなるわよ。
I was honestly expecting Lambda to be like, oh fuck this, I'll be the sacrifice.
もうじき連中がやってくるわ。
俺かエンジェが生贄をやる。ラムダデルタは残った方を連れて鍵を奪ったら黄金鏡に連れ帰ってやってくれ。
譲らないわよお兄ちゃん。
ふざけやがって。 たまには兄らしいことをさせやがれ。
No?
時間ないわよ。じゃんけん一発勝負。
Yes.
私超パーだからそれにちなんで最初はパーからね。いい？二人とも。
Super paper?
いいわ。
エンジェ、恨みっこなしだぜ。
せーの、最初はパー。
It really was a stupid kid's game of rock, paper, scissors. Since they promised to start with paper, this was a chance to make a surprise attack and use something else. However, both Patra and Anja chose rock. And yet it wasn't a tie. Because in addition to those two rocks, was one person who chose scissors. After staring stupidly at their fists and those scissors, they looked at her. Mix!
最初はパーだからチョキ出して一人勝ちしてやろうって思ったのに、やっぱりパーはパー出してなきゃダメね。
There had been no reason for Rambadelta to join in on the game. This wasn't the time for a joke like that. Patra and Anje, each trying to lose, chose rock. Rambadelta alone chose scissors. Oh, Lambda! You did this. Yes, you did on purpose.
お前に死なれたら、俺たちは黄金鏡に帰れないだろうが、こんなの無効だ。ほら、
これで大丈夫でしょ?
Oh? When Ramda made a clenched fist, a palely glowing fragment appeared there, and she gave it to the pair of them. Patra had seen one of these before. It was a magic fragment, like the one Erika had used before disappearing, which would allow one to cross the sea of fragments.
それがあれば、二人とも黄金鏡に帰れるわ。
Oh, so now this is where it becomes relevant again. Oh, Lambda, no! She's gonna have a fight with her girlfriend. That's okay. That's okay. At least we're gonna have Lambda burn.
あんたたちじゃベルン相手に数秒と持たないだろうし、私なら1時間どころかひょっとしたら勝っちゃうかもね。あの子には借りがあるし、今度は私の勝ちってことにしてイーブンにしないと。アウェイは辛いわね。
Rambadelta pretended to complain as she stood up straight. She just really wants to fight her girlfriend.
行ってくるわ。私目立ちたがり屋だから、やっぱ感激者は無理だったわ。ごめんね、出番を奪っちゃって。
Man, I love her.
あんたたちのゲーム、最後まで感激できないのは残念だけど、もう筋書きは教えてもらえたから見る必要もないわ。
ラムダ。
Then, with her broadest smile and a wink.
あんたたちのハッピーエンド。もう先が読めちゃったから見なくても分かっちゃうわ。じゃあね、また会いましょうね。
I feel like that was copium.
あんたたちのハッピーエンドのクレジットロールでね。
No, Lambda!
待って。
Rambadelta snapped her fingers and the two of them turned into Competo candies. She picked them up, took aim at the glint of golden key, and flicked them away. That way they should be able to reach the key without Bernkastel noticing. Dang, what terrible luck! What were the odds of them both playing a rock against my scissors? Yeah, I know. It wasn't nice of me to test you like that. Sorry, you two. And then Rambadelta's body was lit up by an emerald green light. Meow! When she turned around, the cat's eyes and Rambadelta's met. Rambadelta grinned and waved. Hi, girl! There was a fierce roar and several bright flashes. Oh? Oh god! Oh, sorry. Sorry for the lights. A chain of explosions flashed by one after another, enveloping Bernkastel and her pack of familiars in an instant. They were multicolored fireworks, or rather, multicolored candy that burst with a flash and scattered everywhere. Countless stick candies, sugar sculptures, cookies, and tarts flew in every direction, and each one of those split and exploded into hundreds of candies, each of which exploded again into a cloud of Competo. I feel this is also a good diversion tactic, because what's 2 Competo gonna be that land on the key, right? However, these sweets weren't sweet. The Competo was heavier than lead, harder than steel, and sharper than any blade. As a colorful cloud exploded outward, it blasted the entire pack of cats into little bits. Poor kitties! The emerald green glints were scattered everywhere and sparkled like the night sky, and among them danced a cloud of pretty candies that looked like they'd go well on a Christmas tree. You know what? I kind of want to Now I'm curious to put Competo on a Christmas tree. It was sufficiently outrageous and beautiful and cute to mark the Great Witch Rambadelta's appearance on the scene. Nah, this is more special. One-on-one fight with the girlfriend. What's better than this? Yes. She's right. Look at them! With a jerk of her chin, Byrne ordered her familiars to attack. Lesbians, let's go! You're so right, Byrne. I go. This is where it's at. Oh my god, this 3D render. It looks like a fish. The crowd of cats undulated again and reformed into a single mass, and became the emerald green leviathan that would swallow up any poor victims who snuck into the city of books. Okay, now I get why it looks like a fish. It was shaped like an impossibly vast whale. However, would it look like a whale from Rambadelta's perspective? She probably couldn't see anything except an immense mouth about to swallow up everything. Jesus Christ! Can you imagine someone being like, hey, couple goals? Interesting kink, but good for you. Well, she's into it, so good for them. However, Rambadelta's war cry was swallowed up by the glowing, writhing leviathan in a single bite. We need to leave the room. They are having a moment. Wind? At the same instant that Rambadelta was swallowed and Bernkanstel was sure of her victory, the latter felt the slight breeze playing with her hair. The countless sweets that Rambadelta had sent flying like fireworks and which drifted about like decorations at a Christmas party were flowing. No, they were converging on a single point. The candy has turned into Rambadelta. Yep. Oh, yep. It was like watching a firework run backwards. Countless sweets rapidly contracted around the vast closed mouth of the Leviathan. A gigantic reverse explosion concentrated on a point inside it. Or perhaps this was more like a countless candy showering the Leviathan from all directions like bullets. Inside that mass of green was a black swirl. That swirl was on a palm. On the palm of Rambadelta, who wore a defiant smile. It was a mass of super gravity. Yo, let's go! Sweets equal super gravity. That's the best way. Very magical girl power, like. All of the sweets, the cats, the whale, and everything else was being sucked into that one point and crunched. Poor kitties. They don't deserve that. They are lovely. Yes. Both figuratively and literally. At least I assume. All of the candies Rambadelta had scattered were getting sucked back into the black hole on her palm at unbelievable speeds. The reverse explosion of the oncoming candy whittled away at the Leviathan, crushing it inwards. Very interesting way to give your girlfriend a hug. With all her strength, Bernkanstel held her ground in mid-air, trying to resist this supergravity. For the first time, all trace of her condescension had left her face. Even Rambadelta's cocky expression was marred with the sweat trailing from her forehead. Because their power was so overwhelming, any victory would have to be instantaneous. If either relaxed in the slightest, they would match each other's strength and get dragged into another dizzyingly long fight that could last for centuries. Neither of them had any desire to go through that again. So neither of them showed their slightest mercy for their most beloved friend. A fight that took centuries, like Go. By now, Leviathan had been completely crushed. Sorry, not Go, Higurashi itself. By now, the Leviathan had been completely crushed and compressed inside the black hole. Bernkanstel was the only one still holding her ground. However, a windstorm of candy asteroids like the asteroid belt repeatedly slammed into Bernkanstel, wearing away at the girl's form bit by bit. The thing flying into Bernkanstel's range of vision was a comet pelting straight for her with a massive present box at its core and a cloud of candy surrounding it. Oh, zero. Whoa, okay. They are really going all out, huh? The candy comet wiped out Bernkanstel along with her scream. It burst into little bits, and within a blink of an eye, it was sucked back into a hole of supergravity. Once it was all gathered into one place like a gem, it began to spin rapidly. Bern is figuring something out. It was flattened by the centrifugal force, turning into something whose shape resembled a galaxy. After swallowing all of the cats and their master, it now looked like a wiggling, flickering emerald green galaxy that floated just above Lambda Delta's palm. The pocket of supergravity kept compressing it further and further, until at the end it became a single green shining Competo. Welcome to Higurashi Go, Bern. Then it fell down onto her outstretched palm. It's not over. It's gotta blow up.
ごめんね、ベル。あなたといつまでも遊んでいたいから、いつもは必死のふりしてほどほどで遊んでるけど。
Lambda Delta had the Competo above her head and peered at it.
私、本当はどうしようもなく強いのよ。ごめんね。
Oh my god, she slayed! Now she's gonna be like, now I'm gonna eat you. Then she pressed the Competo into her... I was joking! To her pink lips and gave it a light kiss. And bit down. Very lesbian. Okay. Lambda Delta licked her fingertips and turned to face the empty air behind her. She's like, this doesn't taste like my girlfriend. This confirms that she has at least eaten her before, or done other things with her mouth, you know?
愛してるわ、ベル。
嘘よ。あんたがいつだって私に本気じゃないって知ってたの。
じゃあ本当に愛し合いましょうよ。お互い本気で。
ああ、愛してるわ。嬉しいわ。本当に嬉しいわ。
Oh.
愛してるわ、ベルンカステ。あなたを飴玉に変えて永遠に私の下の上で可愛がってあげる。
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
どちらが勝っても私たちは愛し合えるのね。
We shouldn't be in this room. They are smashing, basically.
それって本当に素敵だわ。
Like
本当に素敵。さあ、愛し合いましょうよ。
Forget boring sex. Magical fights is the way to go. With a crash, crack lines appeared across the sky of the Golden Land. Then, finally, the barrier of the Golden Land was breached by the fleet's assault. It was a bizarre scene, more ridiculous than anything anyone had imagined. The sky of the Golden Land shattered like glass, and a fleet of sailboats flew in one after the other. They were crowded with goats pushing each other and spilling off the sides. Jesus. Movie maker tears transition effects. I love it. A banquet. It wasn't some fancy metaphor, but a simple statement of fact. The overwhelming surge of goat troops came in like a tsunami. The residents of the Golden Land who stood defiantly were like a forgotten sandcastle on a beach. A fight between a wave and a sandcastle was not a fight. This was a banquet for the oncoming Vikings at a stand-up meal, the voracious, merciless goats. Oh, Nazi has a gun, let's go! Slay, girl! Oh, the sky is red. All those who could use magic fired it off at once. With a shout like a thunderclap, the goat's tsunami rushed forward. Everything collided at once, and there was a brilliant and terrible explosion. Sparks and smoke, flying splinters and scream. For just an instant, the fierce magical cannonballs fired by Beato, Virgilia, and the Chester sister corps seemed to halt the ghost tsunami in its tracks. But however, their numbers were so great that they didn't even flinch. The goat wave continued to walk over the corpses that had been blasted away, or which had fallen to their knees in weariness. A mound of corpses piled up, and still more goats were shot down as they tried to cross it. So that in a few seconds it really was tall enough to be a tsunami. Someone really needs to make a Muso fan game for this chapter in particular. Or a tower defense game.
ならばそなたは岸壁に打ち寄せる無力なさざ波を思うがいい。波に飲まれる砂の城、飲んでみろよ。わらわの城よ。
Beato lifted her hands, telling the pair of battle towers that had been hidden deep in the ground that the day of glory had come again. The goat tsunami looked up at it in shock. After all this time, the tsunami that towered over everything wasn't them. It was the machine gun tower. Yes, girl. Let's go. Bullets. Magic bullets. A thunderstorm of rapid-fire ballista rounds leapt from the battle tower of gun ports. The goats let out a confused scream at the furious tempest that was bearing down on them. However, they saw something else too. Smothered mate. Ah, yeah, that was the Virgilia move. However, they saw... Sorry. In the sky high above the tower was a reaper astride a divine horse and backdropped by the moon. Oh, queen. Beautiful. A massive spear the size of a tower in its hand. The great witch sitting on the horse while the reaper spoke. Yes. The heavenly spear pierced the ground. For an instant, it looked like some divine tower was sticking out of the ground. However, that was the very last thing those eyes ever saw. The girls are doing great. I love them. The sacred spear was the embodiment of heaven's wrath, and the strength to bury an unclean city in a single stroke was unleashed upon the pack of goats. With a massive explosion that resembled a volcanic eruption, goats were sent flying all over the place. I love that everyone's just holding the gun like... Just imagine her looking at the gun again and they're like, well...
敵はまだまだ来るわ。やっぱり飲み込まれるのは私たちなのよ。
にしちゃあんたたちは楽しそうだろ。
Yes, they are thriving. Let them.
祭りは楽しまねば損ということだ。どうやら我らの出番がなくなるということはなさそうだぞ。
Well, at least they're having fun, right?
みてえだな。燃えてきたぜ。
Bullet. Yes. The crowd of goats truly was like a wave pressing in from the sea. You might be able to split a ripple on the beach with your feet, but you can't split the sea. Which is good. However, that meant the other side was... the other side also had someone who could split seas. Suddenly, smoke poured from one of the two towers, and the ground shook as it crumbled. Erika versus whom? Leader of the fleet versus leader of the island. Let's go. At the top of the other battle tower, Erika stood gracefully, wielding her scythe. Oh, were you the one who kicked over the sand castle? Erika threw that pretentious pirate hat that she had been wearing this whole time into the sky. Pirate hat's off! Shit's serious. With the moon behind it, Erika's form, her after image, vanished from the tower's peak. Ooh, nice CG! Shaking with a wild, joyous laughter, Erika dashed straight down the tower. Oh man, she's slaying. She's slaying. Regardless of what I think of Erika, she's slaying. She swung her scythe like a baton and she passed along the tower's wall. Its gun pores, walls, pillars, and everything else was crushed, leaving a trail of smoke. So from the sidelines, it looked as though a line of smoke suddenly split the tower from top to bottom. The golden arrows of the Chester sisters chased after Erika like golden threads in a sewing machine. Well, she's having a good time. Even the golden arrows couldn't catch up with Erika. Finally, Erika reached the bottom of the battle tower and empty carriages were ejected from the golden bows. Erika had now landed on the ground, slowly stood up and tapped the tower behind her with the handle of her scythe. Single-handedly took down a battle tower. That's some 2000s anime girl slaying. That tiny tap cut the final string that held the tower together, and the whole thing fell in on itself with an earth-shattering crash. Once again, the dark tsunami rumbled forward through the rubble and smoke. Oh, I wonder with this line if Will is gonna face off with Erika. That would be pretty sick. The goat tsunami swallowed everything up. When she saw them sink under the black sea of goats, Erika guffawed from atop the debris of the tower. I can't pronounce that word ever. I think I'm pronouncing it wrong. Stop! I'm not ready for another Devilman Crybaby situation, okay? No. Let's not. Oh shit, it's almost 11 PM, but I want to continue reading. Where are we? You know what? Fuck fuck it, we're gonna continue reading. Emma had broken the magic circle around the key beforehand after all. By the time Batra and Anje reached it, it was falling apart like the sand in an hourglass. They tried punching and kicking it to make it break faster, but nothing they did hastened the process. Did it just be 3 people surrounding like a ball, like a half ball barrier, and just punching it like
多分あと少しなんだ。おそらくあと5分も稼げれば。
Judging by the speed the magic circles were crumbling and the general appearance of the whole scene, it looked like it would be over soon. However, right now, could even 5 minutes be considered soon? They turned around. Beyond the bookshelf ravine was a universe. Even for Battler, who had seen Beato's fights many times over, the battle between Lampadelt and Bernkenstein was so mind-defying that he couldn't find a single word to describe it. When he finally managed to find a word, it was a universe. Each time a battle between Lampadelt and Bernkenstein unfolded, a universe was created between the pair of them. Big bangs would take place, universes would be created, galaxies beyond numbers would be born and erased, Then, just when it came to a big crunch had occurred, and that the universe had met its demise, there would be another big bang and another universe would be created. It was like watching gods playing. Two witches created and destroyed worlds over and over again, almost as though 2 creators were fighting to prove that their universe was the right one. If you let your guard down in the slightest, then just watching this would steal your soul. That's how it felt. I can't even imagine how it would look like, this kind of battle. It's probably one of those moments you wish you could see this animated, but I don't think they could also... No, wait, actually, you know what I could imagine it as? I could imagine... Okay, so for those who have seen Jujutsu Kaisen and the Shibuya arc, light spoilers, I suppose, but that insanely cracked Sakuga from Sukuna doing the... I think it was his domain expansion. That part, the Mahoraga fight with Sukuna? Basically this kind of Sakuga, that's how I imagine this fight looks like.
賢者は鍵を取ったらすぐ帰れ。俺はラムダデルタを放っておけない。
あの戦いの中に飛び込むっての？
だが放っておけねえだろ。二人の戦いは確かに上級にしてる。だが完全に拮抗してて互角なんだ。
Yes, hope for the best.
ってことはな、俺みたいな人間風情一人の火星でも何かを崩せるかもしれない。
Yeah, you would break. You could not handle the sheer power of universe-creating lesbians. A perfect balance maintained by 2 great powers can easily break by adding even a little strength to one side. However, actually rushing in there to add that little bit of strength would be literally suicidal. Like a moth flying into a furnace. It might burn up before it even reaches it.
鍵を手に入れたらエンジェはすぐに黄金鏡へ飛んで帰れ。向こうもいつまで持ちこたえられるかわからない。
みんな戦ってるのに私一人だけ帰れない。
Can't you fit 2 people in 1 fragment?
そうだな。これはお前の戦いなんだ。だからお前は戦え。みんなと一緒に死ねなかったことを悔やみながらその気持ちに打ち勝って未来に生きるんだ。それをお前は決意したはずだ。
Hanji had no words to respond with. Her brother had everyone else, her brother and everyone else would probably die. So she wanted to die in the same place and at the same time as everyone else. However, that could not be allowed and she mustn't wish for it. She had already made up her mind. She had sworn to live in the future without turning back to look at everyone's death.
黄金鏡に帰ったらベアトに鍵を見せろ。するとベアトはお前の前に2つの扉を示す。そしてお前に簡単な謎かけをし、そのどちらかを開くように言う。
Oh, okay.
俺のゲーム版の最後のレーンだ。
つの扉。
2つのうち片方がお前を未来へ導く。
Okay.
大丈夫。今のお前なら絶対に間違いない。そしてそれをくぐったら扉が閉まるまで後ろを振り返るな。
Oh, is it gonna be a Spirited Away situation, which is like, don't turn back?
どうして振り返っちゃいけないの？
Because then you will regret it.
扉が閉まれば俺たちの運命はもうお前には分からない。つまり俺たちは猫箱の中に閉ざされる。
猫箱に閉ざされた運命は無限の真実を持つ。
そういうことだ。
Well, in a way, then she can imagine a truth in which, like, they prevailed against all odds, against Erika's army, and just
俺
survived.
たちはボロクソに負けたかもしれねえし、奇跡の大逆転で生き残るかもしれねえ。つまりお前という未来の魔女に俺たちの決着を観測させずに未来に送り出せれば俺たちには死んだが、お前がいつまでも俺たちを見ていたらお前は俺たちが全滅するところを見ちまう。
So basically the same that she was doing before, but with hoping the family comes back, right? One of them.
そうなりゃ 100% の敗北が確定だ。だからお前は俺たちに勝利の奇跡を与えるためにも扉をくぐったら決して振り返っちゃいけない。いいな。だから俺はラムダデルタを助けに行くのさ。その俺の勇姿を見送って黄金鏡に帰ればそれがお前の中での俺の最後の姿になる。
お兄ちゃんたちの勝敗は猫箱に閉ざされる。だから絶対に負けない。
Yes. Yes, that's the way.
だから振り返るな。もうじき鍵が手に入る。一目散で黄金鏡に帰るんだ。だから今のうちに手短に未来のお前に俺からメッセージを送る。
Oh god.
忘れるなよ。よく心に刻む。
What is it gonna
いつ
be?
いかなる時もな、生きる希望を捨てるんじゃねえぜ。俺たちはいつだってみんなお前が信じてさえくれりゃ声だってかけられるんだ。いいな、信じろ。奇跡はな、信じれば絶対に叶うから。
Yes, that is so correct. At that moment, Ramba, Delta, and Bernkastel were wrapped in a massive explosion. Surely one of them had delivered a powerful blow. There were no further explosions, so that strike must have decided the match. When the smoke clears, who will be left standing? A magic circle sealing the key still needed several minutes to dissolve. Oh.
いる？私の愛しいラムダデルタ。
All that came into sight was Bernkastel. There was no answering voice from Ramba Delta. Uh-oh. If this was a sign of her victory, it did not cause Bernkastel's expression to grow any brighter.
残念よ。ラムダ、あなたとなら二人で宇宙が築けると思ってたのに残念よ。本当に残念。
I don't think she's defeated yet. Bernkastel was still focusing all her nerves on the battle, and so she took no notice of Battle and Anja by the key. However, she will probably notice soon, and then there will be nowhere to run. The last section of the magic circle was starting to fade away. However, almost cruelly, the final circle went slower than the rest. Seeing that, any hopes that it would dissolve in a minute or maybe a few dozen seconds were crushed absolutely. Battle readied himself.
俺じゃああはいかねえだろうがな。今度は俺の出番のようだぜ。
お兄ちゃん。
Oh shit.
エンジ、よく止めなかった。
With tears still pouring down her face, Anja lovingly rubbed her cheek against the hand that had been patting her head.
また子猫たちを集めなきゃ。バトラも一緒にいると思ってたのに。その姿がないのはおかしいわ。あんなやつ一人でも残しておけば靴に入り込んだ
There's a pebble in my shoe. The smoke cleared completely, and they saw a huge cloud of candy bits floating around, like it was Ramba Delta's corpse. A star-shaped cookie bounced off Bernconcel's head. It was missing one of its points, giving it a lonely feeling. Oh, she's gonna eat her? Bernconcel chewed the cookie and swallowed it. She warned her! I knew it! I knew that she wasn't done! Bernconcel's stomach suddenly swelled like a balloon. Oh. Inflation and warring. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear, I didn't expect that to happen. In Umineko of all places! Welp! I didn't mean to activate that hole, sorry. Okay, the balls rose from her stomach to her throat, then exploded like fireworks from her mouth. Okay, never mind, it wasn't. From Bernconcel's mouth spewed fireworks sparks fragments of candy. She's a cat, she will do it anyway. Oh lord! Bernconcel's doubled over even more, still spitting up an exploding fire. Oh Jesus, she's throwing up sparkles and rainbows. The birth of a small universe from that sweet that hit her directly from inside of her stomach. Even Bernconcel couldn't withstand that. As you got baited, Jesus. Bernconcel repeatedly vomited fireworks so violently that seemed like her guts would spill out. Her body flickered in and out of existence, and she glared at Ramba Delta with a terrifying expression. See, kids, this is what happens when you let your cat just pick up a cookie from the floor. They will leave you surprises on the floor. Her body was flickering because she had taken so much damage that even maintaining her form was now difficult, as well as the text had difficulty maintaining in the box. I'm literally just imagining those gifts with rainbow vomits. It's true, cats so often like some people are really like, oh damn, the cat made me think that they love me. I petted them and then they attacked me back. Basically, that's Burn. The goat tsunami had swallowed up everything, but sea spray was still flying about. The reefs resisted the ocean that was trying to cover them and were smashing waves left and right. The Seven Sisters of Purgatory and the Inquisitors of Hersey specialized in I read that right, Hersey. Specialized in close-range combat and were rapidly building a mountain of corpses. The witch fought hard too, but they would have preferred to fight at a distance if they could. Illusions alone wouldn't be enough. In these battle conditions, all of the humans were thrust right into the center of the fight. Everyone in the Shiromiya family displayed a fighting spirit equal to the witches and guarded their backs. Even humans are not powerless. They have guns. They have the bullets. If the goats supported fantasy, they could use these as the ultimate anti-magic weapons. If the goats supported mystery, they could use these in a much more obvious way. Those 45 round Colt bullet delivered fatal wounds to each and every goat they struck. I hope you have endless bullets though. I hope that's not a factor. Oh, she's getting tired of this. Men too angry to die. Yes, save Sakutaro. He doesn't deserve this. He's the support. No, he's too angry to die, like I said. Erika's razor-sharp sight buried itself in Kinzo's chest. It dug straight into his heart, but the daring smile on Kinzo's face didn't even falter. Oh, let's go. You didn't see it, so it didn't happen, essentially. A punch containing the entirety of Kinzo's last spark of life sent Erika flying. Oh, it's gonna... He's dead. Oh! Another CG! Help! As Erika tried to deliver the finishing blow, Klaus stepped in between them, blocking the way. I'm really appreciating the amount of CGs we're getting in this episode. I'm like, oh, Alchemist, thank you. Do careful, he's gonna fuck you up with one of his investing puzzles. And yet, even I remember to tie my shoes. I think this is a saying, but it still kills me. Like, oh my god, Kraus. This is why you lose investments. Oh, the uppercut! Erika tried to look down at her feet, but what she saw was Kraus' left fist. We call that in a fighting game a dragon punch, a DP, if you will. Kraus' left uppercut made Erika float in the air. Not by magic, but by the simple laws of physics. For an instant, Erika saw the moon. You know what? I wonder how Kraus's life would have been if he was allowed to pursue a career as a boxer. Oh, they're back with this. I don't think that's the case. Hell yeah, let's go. She technically introduced, I think, Sayo, basically. Jessica's body blow made the goat's massive body cave in. Oh, that's true, actually. That's the first time they're fighting together. There hasn't been a single episode where they fought side by side. It was always either Kanon alone in episode 2 to protect her. In episode 3, he fought alone with against Lucifer and Jessica. Did Jessica fight anyone in episode 3? Episode 4, she fought alone. Then 5, I don't recall if we had any fights with these two in particular. I don't think so. And episode 6, each of them had to do their individual trials. So this is kinda cute. It's very cute. Jessica laughed embarrassingly. She's doing her best. You're doing great, baby girl. She looked even more relaxed than she had on stage at the school festival. Oh yeah, he's so right. He does his best. He has the edge and he has to show it. Yes, she loves that he's out the edge. The massive bodies that rushed at them, trying to deny their relationships and their very existence, had two choices: be sliced or be struck. Each time one of these bodies hit the floor, it became proof that the two of them existed. Ah, yeah. It's okay. Guys, it's okay. You can say incel. Oh, the goat log, the goat's log-sized fist buried itself in George's face. Ow. This was the middle of a massive, confused battle. There was no way to dodge an unexpected attack like that. George had indeed been hit with a fist right to the center of his face. However, he didn't bend over backwards, not even an inch. The goat started to wonder what it was he had hit. He has armor. He has the fighting game armor. And he punched a human made of flesh. It was as though he had slammed his fist into a steel wall, and it was his fist that he was hurt. And it was his fist that was hurting. We call that being invulnerable in a fighting game. However, the goat was too scared to move his fist from George's face. After all, if he did, the expression on that face would probably be too terrifying. George pressed his hand against that fist. George was only grabbing the goat's massive fist in his tiny hand. However, that fist was being crushed as though it had a vice around it. Even though the other hand was tiny, the goat couldn't even move its fist. I accepted the fact that someone as pathetic as me would be bullied. Oh my god! This is a very good CG. That's a good CG! The goat's broken teeth flew through the air. George's furious feet split the heavens. A goat's filthy finger touched Shannon's back. That finger exploded and boiled away. How dare you slander Shannon like this? A blazing red light charred the goat's entire body. Shannon slowly turned around, her face full of rage and contempt. Get her! Get him, girl! I love this line. Girl slay. I think this line goes so hard. An absolute barrier rose up around Shannon, burning up the goats around her with its flames. Mania! Baby girl, how you doing?
かもしれない。でもね、だからって誰にもマリアたちのことを批判することはできない。マリアとママの愛は誰にも否定できないんだもの。
As much as it pains to say me, yes. Just because the relationship was the way they were, that doesn't mean that Rosa did not love Maria and that Maria didn't love her. It's just that, you know, shit was complicated and horrible. Basically, one doesn't invalidate the other fact, is what I'm trying to say. Also, need to get the power back. Where's the cable? There we go. Mania smiled, showing her teeth, and performed her job without even looking at her hands. Then she tossed a fully loaded rifle straight up in the air. She loaded the bullet. Yes, slay. We're getting Rosa episode 2 level. Which honestly is still one of my favorite scenes in all of Umineko, like the ending of episode 2 with Rosa and Mari and the goats. Oh, that scene fucks me up so bad, and it's incredible. And I'm saying this as someone who, it's not a secret to anyone that I'm not really a Rosa fan or anything. I can empathize with some aspects in her life, but it's still, yeah, I still don't like her. But that part in episode 2, yo, very hype. And this also hype. Rosa, who stood back to back with Maria, caught it without turning around. Queen moment, actually. No, that wasn't all. Maria had passed the gun to her mother perfectly without even looking back. Rosa's head was pointed at the ground as she stroked the frigid trigger with her index finger. Yes, step forward. The crowd of goats, cowed by Rosa's ferocity, didn't even get any closer to her. I'd be scared of Rosa too. Personally, I think Rosa is the scariest of the adults, but... As in, of the adults, as in... between the four, like Rosa, Rudolph, Eva, and Kraus. Those four. Like, the scariest adult of all is still Kinzo, but... Yep. False. Erika was peering at the unfeeling moon and the taste of metal in her mouth. Oh. For a moment, she didn't realize what was happening. Jesus Christ, you said shit about Rosa and you straight up gun in mouth. See, this is what I'm saying when I say Rosa is the scariest of the four adults. Was that cold feeling on her back the ground? Huh? Why am I lying down? And wasn't the moon full? Why isn't it now? Come to think of it, my teeth hurt. There's something cold and hard there. Then she figured it out. She was lying sprawled on the ground with a gun barrel shoved into her mouth. And the thing splitting the moon was the angry king of woes protecting its child. Welp, the gun barrel exploded inside her mouth, shattering her medulla oblongata, but it was only her afterimage. Teleports behind you, nothing personal, kid! Erika had escaped death at the last moment by leaving an afterimage. Found a metallic flash right before her eyes, which had been there even before she reappeared. The fountain pen went straight through Erika's eye, crushing it. Holy shit! Of course, that was another afterimage. However, when Erika escaped and reappeared somewhere else, a heel was already there waiting for her. From the goat's perspective, several after images of Erika seemed to be appearing at once, all of which were pierced by Rosa at the same time. You girl, you're getting read but like a hard book. Hard reads.
次に行ったら本気で殴るか
ママは強いんだよ
And so Erika couldn't reappear anymore. At the very least, not within Rosa's range of attack. Erika put a lot of distance between her and Rosa, reappearing in midair. The executioner hitting into the scene is... oh. You've had twice experience with these people. You should have known better. Erika's animal instincts made her turn her head slightly to the side just in time. Where her head used to be, there was an odd shower of sparks. It wasn't magic. It was a real physical phenomenon caused by lead smashing against lead. To think that two bullets shot from different angles could have thrown with impossible precision at where her head once was, so that both of them hit and bounced off each other like billiard balls. Oh, even Kirie! You know what? Actually, I forgot to say Kirie is also one of the scariest adults. Like, do not fuck with this woman.
悪いね。俺たちの趣味は親玉狙い。
私たちクレイは得意？あまりのんびりお空を飛ばない方がいいんじゃないかしら。
That's so like them. Just to go for the boss, like, eliminate the leader, right? The two of them spun their rifles in exactly the same way at exactly the same time, reloading them in a manner that put old westerns to shame, then pointing them back up at where Erika was in the sky. This is what I'll say. You do not want to play StarCraft with these two. They're gonna fuck you up so bad. Once again, their accurate shots plunged through the foreheads of Erika's afterimage, bouncing off each other like billiard balls with a shower of sparks. This time, Erika appeared far behind them. She had to admit it. She had been forced to escape to a place outside the range of those guns fired by humans. Then the light from the moon was blocked. The place she had fled to so rapidly exploded, sending chunks of rubbish flying. A massive long sword had been plunged into the ground. From whom? It was oh, Lando! The girlfriends are fighting! Not like this! Not like this! Not the girlfriends! Man. She had dodged by a hair, but this bulky, brutal longsword was more of a cannonball shaped like a sword than something for cutting with. Even though she dodged it, the blast of air pressure made her eardrums throb. Dranar was serious. She seriously intended to smash Erika to bits. Normal girlfriend things.
人の夢や幻想を打ち壊すには楽しいに決まってるじゃないですか。
Oh, is this how they're gonna break up?
それこそが知的蹂躙の醍醐味でしょうが。あなたは邪悪な人です。しかしそれでも同調できる邪悪だと信じていました。
No, they're breaking up. Tragic.
あんたに同情を頼んだ覚えはありませんが。 あなたを直ちに切り伏せなかったこと、それが今日を招いた私の罪です。
Donnor's hair bristled with rage. The sight this expression on one of her old friends pinned Erika to the spot.
痛みさえわからぬうちに私があなたを解放しましょう。あなたがこれ以上の罪を背負わぬようにです。
Oh! Die the death. The girlfriends! KFC breakup arc between Erika and Draenor has happened. Sorry, guys. The force of anger that welled from Dranor's whole body struck Erika. Or rather, the swirl of blasting wind from Dranor's massive longsword sent her flying. Oh, she's not fucking around. The cannonball with a blade repeatedly cracked the ground just after Erika leapt away. So it almost looked as though Erika was jumping backwards, smashing the earth beneath her with each jump. Oh. That line from Erika, it was just Dranor's name, but there's so much sadness in it. Shock. The great longsword split the air again, pulverizing the ground. However, this time Erika was nowhere to be seen. Where did she escape to? Erika had broken the barrier of the Golden Land, landing on a ship whose bow was barely in sight. Practically speaking, she had run away. Fully aware of this, Erika howled, her face contorted with humiliation. Her shoulders heaved with her breathing, and she even forgot to fix her hair. The scythe fell from her hand and landed with a clank to the floor. That sound brought her back to her senses. Concept negation. Hey, what's Dinky? Oh, my cat's here. The warships that had flown into the Golden Land opened their gun ports one after another, and then they all fired at once in a scattered mess of cannonballs. Dinky, hello. I'm reading. I'll go to bed soon. The hundreds of explosive rounds they fired would negate the concept of anything or person they touched, smashing them into little bits and setting them ablaze with flames. The battlefield, full of writhing goats, became a fiery hell. Oh no! No! The Cold Land, no! The cannonball smashed the arbor. The once beautiful garden maze was burned down bit by bit, and the fleeing gold butterflies were wrapped in flames, burning into nothingness like the scraps of paper. This was no longer a battlefield where two sides fought for victory. It was just a confused, hellish pot of boiling water. The Golden Land was being torn apart. That the once beautiful rose garden was filled with explosion craters, and its rose petals were scattered about without pity. Oh, not like this! There were flying bits of flesh, blood, fangs, jaws, shrieks and half-crazed screams, and even amidst this hellish swirl, the goats and the dead continued to fight. As seen from atop the boats, this was hell, without a doubt. When Erika yelled, the goats and the boats ran around frantically, and one by one massive anchors hanging by chains were thrown from the ship's bows into the earth below. Those anchors smashed through not only the ground but the bottom of the Golden Land itself, digging in with their wedge-shaped tips. Oh no! Erika! Get her, Beato! Beatrice landed on the front tip of the warship, facing off against Erika, who stood on the bow. Get her, girl, get her! Beato jabbed with her pipe. It transformed into a beautifully intricate golden longsword. Yes, girl! Get her! Get her! Erika threw her scythe up into the air. When it returned to her hand, it had become a sword similar to Beato's. The nearby goats crowded around Erika, trying to support her. Aye, sir. The goats bowed and rushed to their posts. Several dozen ships had lowered their anchors, digging into the base of the Golden Land. Soon they were going to try and pull them up, tearing the Golden Land to pieces. Oh, the CG! The CG! And Sayaka Ohara's voice. Beata raised her sword, bowed in the ancient fashion and waited for her opponent. Erika kicked off her shoes violently and slowly walked up to the tip of the boat barefoot. Then, in accordance with Beato's rules, she bowed back. It was a duel on the prow of a ship that pierced the sky. Below, the crowd of goats was being blasted away by the indiscriminate cannonballs, burned up and crushed in the panorama of this world's end. By now, it would be stupid to wonder whether anyone from the Ushiromiya family was still alright. Yes, 3 was the end of this world. The end of the Golden Land, ground to dust, filled with flames. The Golden Rose Garden was burning spectacularly, with bits of fire and golden splashes flying around. Things looked good. But now, oh, the ground creaked as fissures ran through it. Through the base of the Golden Land. All of the ships started pulling up their anchors at once. Crowds of mighty goats used up all their monstrous strength to lift them. The anchors that dug into the Golden Land's base spread cracks throughout the entire Golden Land. Not just the ground, but the air itself was filled with cracks, and shards of gold fell down everywhere. The Golden Land's end was adorned with the flames of hell and streaking gold fragments with fiery red and ephemeral gold. Atop the boat's prow, Beata and Erika looked down on this, their swords crossed and sparks flying between them.
ふさわしいと思いませんかあんたの物語の終章に
Oh, nice, new effects.
わらわも果てるだろう。だが我らが確かにここにあった事実は誰にも消せぬ。
Yes,
先祖
true.
は至った未来の魔女は使命と希望を持ちもうじき旅立つだろう。すでに我らは成し遂げている。あいにくだなフルドエリカ。この戦すでにわらわたちが勝利しているわ。
This was a duel between the master of the illusion called the Golden Land and the witch who controlled truth. The earth split between them. Behind them! Sorry, the Golden Land was torn up. The catbox known as the Golden Land was ripped apart, and the nothingness below peeked out through the cracks. The scrambling crowd of goats fell through the gaps and were swallowed by the sea of nothingness. Beato's friends were among them. They helped each other, lent a hand to each other, unwilling to sacrifice anyone until the final moment. Still, what a romantic and fragile illusion is the end of the world. To their bitter ends. The ground shattered and sank. It fell apart in the ocean of nothingness. None could survive. None could be saved. This was destruction. As the comrades in arms fell into the sea of nothingness, they looked up one last time and prayed. They prayed that the master of the Golden Land would leave proof that the Golden Land had indeed existed. However, Beato didn't look down at them. They wouldn't have wanted her to.
こここそは我らが黄金鏡無限と黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェここにあり我らは知れどそれは敗北にあらずそなたが生き証人となれその胸にわらわの切っ先にて我らの証刻みつけてくれようぞ
さようならベアトリーチェこのクソったれな無限ゲームもこれでおしまいです地獄へ落ちろこの幻が
Oh no, Beato? Beato, is she okay? Oh dear. Okay, I think this is a good point to stop because it's like almost midnight. I don't think I can finish reading tonight. There's no way in hell, so we're gonna leave the rest for next time. So, let me switch over to the just chatting screen after I... let me save another spot. I almost used up all the save spot, Jesus. Okay, title back. And let's go to the just chatting screen. Turn off desktop audio, and there we go. Okay. Jesus Christ, shit hits the fan, shit's hype. I'm loving it. loving it, and even if though I would have liked to kept reading, I have to sleep because I have work to do tomorrow. So, okay, I have a little bit of news to share, not that much, but I have, at least on Instagram and on Discord, I have posted my Google Forms interest check for an online shop. So if you're interested in merch, cough cough, like Umineko merch, cough cough, I would be very happy if you filled out this form. So let me just copy paste it in Twitch chat so you know which, so you can just fetch it. Inky. Yes, I'll be going to bed soon. Just wait. Just wait. Copy. There it is in the chat. Okay, so I posted it there. If you're interested in buying merch, then I'll be super happy if you filled out the form, because it will help me with the few things that I still need to do to set up the online shop. And it will help me check if I can make more Umineko merch than I originally intended. I would be really happy if I could make a lot, but for that I also need enough people who want it, right? So if you want Umineko stuff, basically fill out the form, vote for Umineko and what exactly you want. But other than that, okay, no news. For Umineko, if you didn't get to hear what my plans were in the last stream last year in December, basically my plan after finishing Umineko is I want to read the extra side stories. I know there's an extra chapter that I also want to read. I will play Golden Fantasia. I know it has story modes with multiple stories and such, so we will do that too. But after all of that is done, I'm probably not going to be doing visual novel streams for a while, or at least not with this kind of length. Maybe stuff like Ace Attorney, something of that direction, yes, but nothing that will take, like, 3 years to read in total. So that's a bit unfortunate. But I can hope that Golden Fantasia will be something reoccurring. So, okay. Before I leave for today, gonna check what else I can do. So, alright, I'll be catching you guys then next Thursday. Sorry, next Tuesday, where I'll be doing, we'll be starting our next Retro Tuesday project. I'll be playing Shaman King Master of Spirits 2. And when that is done, when that is done, we're going to over to Mega Man X3. So, have a good night, everybody. I'm going to bed. I hope you have a remaining rest of the beginning of this year. And next Thursday, there's gonna be Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Next Umineko stream is gonna be probably on the 23rd. Don't know if we'll finish episode 8 by then, but oh well. Until then, catch you guys next Tuesday. Have a good night and thank you for coming. Bye bye!